The name's Verve. Yeah, just Verve. If you need a last name, you can put Squallrun or something, but that's only because you asked. I understand you need me to answer these questions for your report or whatever, but I've already told you everything I know. I really don't get why I'm still being questioned. Yeah, no, I get it. It was dangerous and stupid and I could have died, but if it wasn't for me, the girl definitely would have been toast. Plus, between you and me, I've always wanted to jump into a burning building all heroic-like. I was just looking for some sort of compensation for my services, so why the interrogation? I guess that's a good point. Would you believe I just happened to be in the right place at the right time? No? Okay, fine. Few days ago, these peeps at Sola's talked some big game that this rich pop security system was the most advanced in the Steadfast. Airtight, Nera, out the wazoo. I'll spare you the deets, but bottom line, I'm getting paid by these smooth brains to find the weaknesses in this Numsec. That's Numenera security for the uninitiated. But I never intended to give it to them. They paid me half already, and I was gonna sell this drive back to the owner for more shins. That's what I was doing here. Finished the job too, in case anyone was interested. I was on my way out when the explosion went off. I started running, but then I heard the girl. No one was around. The security team was scrambling. What was I, an upstanding citizen of Charmant, mind you, supposed to do? Alright, we can split hairs all we want, but that's gonna land us nowhere. How about this proposal? I don't even want the shins. Keep them. I give you all the info I have on the Numsec, plus the names of the dudes that paid me. In return, I walk free, and you lose the name Verve from your database.
Alright, y'all. We ended a couple minutes early today. What story would y'all like to hear before your folks come pick you up? How about... Well, you've already heard about the time we met Banshee, and the time the vessel launched into the sky. How about... how Remnant came to be? Well, a couple years ago there was an accident in Charmant, city far to the west. A big old piece of Numenera was destroyed that kept the iron wind out. Before it was fixed, the wind came through the city, tearing it to shreds. So instead of trying to rebuild and pick their life back up, a small group of us came out here to try our luck in the beyond. And we found that, the big old donut-shaped thing in the sky. While it was still on the ground, a couple of us were told to take a look inside. I was there, and y'all know Nova. There was also Rochelle, the grumpy knife lady at the edge of town, and Verve, another friendly fellow around here. Eventually, after some fighting and button pressing, Verve got it flying, but raiders were coming. Now, your folks might have told you about this part, how a man named Crimson and his people wanted it. A terrible man who wouldn't let anything get in the way of what he wanted. But we all got in his way, all of Remnant. And Black Cloak watchers went around the ninth world telling everyone what happened that day. How Remnant was a place you can go to start over. A place to build a new home. Alright, time for y'all to go home. I'll see y'all tomorrow, and don't forget your homework. And Dante, I don't want to hear that Ash ate it. Rochelle don't let him eat that kind of stuff.
Sorry, I didn't see you there. I was looking at something else. My name is Nova, and I'm on a mission. I'm not sure where I'm going or what I'm looking for exactly, but my ma always told me I'd know it when I saw it. I've got a bit of a knack for that, ever since I was little. My ma and I, and some of my aunties and uncles and sibs too, we've got that knack for seeing what others don't. When I was little, I thought everyone saw like me. What do I see? Different things, depending. It's hard to explain. When I look at a tree or a flock of birds, I see perfect order and symmetry forever, going on and on, longer than humans can count or the most powerful scope can see. But at the same time, everything is bundled up tight inside itself, like a leaf ready to unfurl. I told you it was hard to explain. It helps a lot with our work, though. People come to us with their problems sometimes. Well, I shouldn't say us. We're just the caretakers of the temple. I'm sure you've noticed it. the strange building just as you cross over the mountains into the beyond. We've been there a long time. People come to us when they need to know that there's the promise of order in the chaos, or the hope of chaos in the order, or sometimes they're just following a feeling. And that's what I'm doing now. We've known for a while that the temple had a missing piece, so when I started growing up stronger than my sibs, the quest fell on me. My family taught me to be self-sufficient, just in case I needed to be on my own for a while. It can be dangerous wandering around alone, but I'm not worried about finding what I need. I'm sure the path I walk is straight in some dimension.
Captain's log. Ugh, wait, that just sounds dumb. This is Rashiel. Approximately year 2 since leaving Charmond and arriving in Remnant, I decided to start this journal because I haven't been sleeping well, or often, since King Crimson's raid. It's been better as of late, but it's to the point where I need to do something differently or I'll never be productive again. My head keeps replaying those moments over and over, being so focused on protecting the settlement, then falling, trying to make my peace with the certainty of imminent death, then, just as quickly, being alive, safe, on solid ground. Since then, all I ever want to do is just work on what I know best: ciphers, artifacts, Numenera. Licton and I both have that in common now, and we spend a lot of time together building. It helps. In fact, being with Nova helps too. So does being with Verve, more than I thought. Sabine understands more than anyone else, I think. My conversation with her before the raid, it changed me. Changed how I've been carrying my past. I am not defined by my trauma. Remnant seems keen on making us local leaders since the raid. I want no part of that. I just want to continue carving out a life here. This place that I almost died for, this peace that I have spilled blood for, this body that I have spent my whole life hiding. I'm done hiding. Emoji.
We're okay.
Hi, everybody. We are live. We almost started without a GM.
No.
We did.
No, it's
not
fine.
no big deal.
We're living here in the future.
What do they do anyway? They don't roll anything.
We don't
I
really
don't
roll
zapped in the
GMs.
nipple by a trash can.
Yeah.
That's the
That's
short version of the story.
Anyway, we're live, y'all.
Anyway,
Everything was normal, and then suddenly, nipples.
I didn't know we were that kind of stream. Oh well. Anyway, hello everyone. How are you tonight? Welcome to part 1 of our series finale for Numenera Remnant. Oh dear, I seem to have knocked my desk. Oh well. Yes, I'm your GM. My name is Alex. I use they, them pronouns. And I am very excited to bring the first of this 2-part series to you. The second part of which will happen next week. So why don't we all quickly, for the second to last time, go around and introduce ourselves. And then someone who is not me will go ahead and recap the previous session.
Hi, I'm Mare. I use she, they pronouns. And I'm playing Licton Bradlesby, the earnest Jack who rides the lightning.
Howdy. I'm Kappa. Hello. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm gonna be playing Verve, the risk-taking Jack who touches the ding-dang sky.
Hi, I'm Finley. I use they, them pronouns. I'm playing Nova, the protective glaive who sees beyond.
Hi, I am Seth. I will be playing Rashiel, your local nano, who also fuses flesh with steel.
And gracing us with her presence for one night only. I'm lying because it's most likely going to be 2 nights only. Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris, and I'm new here. This evening, I'm going to be playing Wilo, a graceful nano who sees beyond.
All right.
And with that, who would like to provide a recap?
Ooh. I've done so many recaps, y'all.
I was going
Yep.
to, but then pre-stream stuff, so I'm saying no.
I did it last time.
All right,
So-
so I think that means it's me. So last time, after escaping, traversing through the data sphere to save our home and the vessel that sails above our community, we found ourselves at my home, Nova's home, the Reverberant Coil, and we spent some time there resting and recuperating after a very hard-fought battle. The mysterious companion who had joined us, Mar, disappeared in the night, leaving us to our own devices. We spent some time there having opportunities to study the vertex, the access point to the data sphere, learning more about how it worked. And we had a chance to examine some of our own relationships to family, to our roots, and to what we were hoping for from our home in the future. After returning to Remnant, we checked in with the Central Intelligence, confirming that the virus had truly been eliminated and that our home was safe for the time being. Spoiler, only the time being. And just as we were beginning to feel like we would live happily ever after, some new travelers appeared in our town. These people were stately and magnificent in their appearance, and we recognize them as Aeon Priests. Aeon Priests, for those of you at home, are the representatives of sort of the Order of Truth. And some of us have very complicated relationships with these entities. In fact, some of us know some of the Aeon Priests were known to us, such as Mother Naomi and Kaya, figures from Rashiel and Licton's past. After speaking with them, we learned some terrible news, which is that the Iron Wind, a devastating natural phenomenon, is near and on its way, and that our community would need to prepare unless we want it to be wiped off the face of the map. And that's where we are.
All right, and that is where we are. So, I will ask the four residents of Remnant we have here. When are we picking up? Picking up the next day?
We left off like probably mid-afternoon, early evening, right?
Mm-hmm. Something like that, give or take.
I have no preference.
Anyone have any long-term goals they would like to accomplish?
Not die.
Solid.
That's pretty long term. One would say that's the longest term.
Not die ever. Yeah, that is.
Yeah, that is. Should make a
Yeah,
campaign
why
of
don't we
that.
pick up at exactly the point where we've come up with an amazing plan, a foolproof plan to save the town?
Okay, then we don't need to spend any time planning. Great, let's
What?
go.
Nope. Nice try.
I would prefer it be probably like the same day, I think.
Same day, sure.
Day later at the very most. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, no, I also agree. No later than about 24 hours later.
Gotcha. And to be clear, today is going to be mostly about preparing. So a lot of what happens will be on y'all in terms of how you would like to prepare. This is your home, and you get to decide how to defend it.
So then, how about this? We do one of them. Let's get everyone together, and see what our options are.
Sans Aeon Priests.
Sure.
Yeah, mine is Kaya for sure.
And Mother Naomi and Brother Pliny. Because
I don't know their names.
I don't think that Rashiel wants to talk to any of them.
I mean, you're free to invite them and see what happens.
I think it's better off to not. Especially with how the couple conversations with priests already went.
No, it's fine. You can bring them if you want to.
I'm not gonna invite them.
I mean, I definitely wouldn't.
Especially since how vocal Rashiel has been on her massive dislike. I'm not about to invite them.
I'm just choosing to believe this is all a potluck, and you're gonna invite the Aeon Priests, and then Rashiel is gonna show up, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, Rashiel, what did you bring?" She's gonna be like beef and just start swinging.
I would definitely say, if we're gonna talk and chit chat, definitely the four of us, Mayor Winter, Sabine, Pandora. That's my 2 cents.
Gotcha. Sure thing. All right. So then we are going to have two things happen simultaneously. One, you four will gather together in Sabine's house to begin discussing your plans and preparations. Simultaneously, as this is going on, Wilo, you have been traveling for a long time. It's been probably at least a day or two since you've seen anybody else. Mostly on account of the fact that Remnant is about at least a day or two away from any other settlement, and this part of the world doesn't really get a whole lot of foot traffic. You have seen some pretty incredible and pretty horrific things over the past week or so. And just in your course of traveling vaguely away from the particular phenomena which you're fleeing from, you find yourself exiting this like jungle canopy almost. This very thickly vegetated area with just like half of a road that you can barely sort of keep track of. But you're able to come out of this, very thickly wooded area into a large clearing, from which you can very clearly see a small city, honestly, is the best way to describe it at this point. A small city before you. And above, you get a very clear picture of something that you've been getting glimpses of in the sky for a long way off now. It's a giant metallic ruin or structure of some kind. It's a big metal ring that's probably like a mile and a half in radius, with a big central command structure seated in the middle of it, connected to the ring by these three different spokes. It has a large array of various antennae on top of it, and this enormous like pylon, which seems to be holding this like weird amorphous black crystal, which is coming down from the control center, sort of hovering above the town. And that is sort of what you see as you, know it or not, enter Remnant. What would you
This
like
is the
to do?
first time I've seen Remnant,
Yes.
correct? Okay.
Yeah, you might have heard whispers about this place. It sprouted up very quickly. But this would be the first time you've seen it, and definitely the first time you're able to take in, like, whoa, they've got something going on here.
Okay.
Hell yeah, we do. Sorry.
Do the people here seem at all, as I'm starting to move, as I get to the edge, I'm going to pull my black hood up over my face to obscure as much as possible. But do people here seem at all nervous about the Iron Wind, or is everybody just kind of chilling?
It's hard for you to tell. Granted, they do seem agitated. Especially in this part of the world, travelers don't come often. Now, Remnant is a bit of an exception because of how quickly it is growing. So you would expect your reception to maybe be a little less like obvious than perhaps if you had stumbled into like a very small village.
Okay.
But that said, you are very much like you're almost disregarded as you come up the road and into town, which you would know is not generally what you would expect of a city in the beyond. Like you're not greeted by any guards or any like civilians or anything like that. You're able to just walk right in.
Okay.
So you're not really quite able to get a read on necessarily everything about what's going on, but you are able to tell that these people seem preoccupied.
Okay. Is there like a central, like a city center or a town square or anything?
There is, yes. Towards the center of town, you see this whole town seems to be built around the geometry of the ruin that they're sitting under. The center of town you're able to follow because there's a large like open air elevator that seems to come down from the control center up above into town. And you see people coming up and down, not like super often, but like often enough that you're able to like see this elevator in motion as you approach and enter the town. From the center of town, you like see, it looks like various like salvagers or other work people are coming up and down. That seems to be the majority of the activity there. Also in the center of town, as well as the elevator to get into the vessel, there is a large obelisk, almost like a large monolith of some kind, and you see that seems to be getting a lot of like foot traffic. A lot of people are like coming by and like talking to this monolith and then going on their way. You'll see some people walk up, like tap it for a brief second, and then take their hand off and walk away. The obelisk is getting a lot of traction.
Okay. If no one's paying any attention to me, like,
no, you're pretty anonymous.
Like a dream, I think I'm gonna take advantage of this, and for the first time in who knows how long, I am just going to walk very normally into any vantage point where I can kind of get a closer look on what's happening here, because I'm trying to figure out what these people are doing. But I'm also additionally trying to keep an eye out for anybody who seems like they're in charge, because everybody, despite the fact that people are doing things, it worries me that no one's panicking, and I'm wondering if they know what's coming. So I'm trying to just post up, get a read on the obelisk, and also who's in charge here is kind of what Milo is doing.
Sure. So getting up somewhere is no problem. The buildings here are very much, you can very much tell that they're not like constructed by like a team of architects or anything like that. This is very much like people sort of building their own structures and sort of building off of that. It's more, it's certainly not something like a real formal type city that you might expect in like the Steadfast, where the real known kingdoms are. You're able to sort of climb up one of these improvised structures, no problem. It's mostly this sort of very stark white metal, which looking up and then looking down, you're able to tell is probably salvaged off of the vessel above them. And they're able to, you're able to climb up one of these structures, no problem. Why don't you quickly make me a perception roll?
Yeah, I remember how to do that.
Yeah, I'll say this will be a level 4 task, which means your target number is 12. Do you have any skills related to perception?
I see beyond? No, hold on, let me look. Not particularly. Physical performing arts I don't think really counts here, so I don't think I have any perception-oriented skills. Then and that's a D20, right?
This is a D20. Target number is 12. You can spend effort from your intellect pool if you want to reduce.
That's a 2. So
that's a 2. So
I'm tired.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So why don't you quickly describe for us what Wilo looks like and what their investigation appears like to them?
Yeah. So Wilo is at a glance appears to be kind of a human woman, sort of. It's very hard to tell because I'm very obscured by the black hood that I am wearing, dressed in kind of blacks and grays, very kind of nondescript, the exact kind of clothing you would wear if you want people to not notice you, like if you want to get lost in a crowd. I do have like these black leather gloves that go all the way up to the elbow. The most noticeable thing about my appearance is that I have a black leather blindfold that is tied around my eyes at all times, which is why I keep the hood up to kind of keep people from noticing that. Otherwise, kind of tanned, what's the word? Kind of ruddy skin from being outdoors pretty much all of the time. My short black wavy hair. Has been a pixie cut for a long time, but I've recently started shaving both sides of it just to keep cool. So right now I'm kind of perched up, and as I'm looking out, I actually don't see any of these physical objects because I don't have eyes. So what I see really is just kind of a matrix echolocation kind of scan of the area around me, so I can make out basic shapes and the shapes of humanoids moving around in kind of this very black and white, very vague sort of way. Yeah, and I'm just perched up here, just watching people mill around, trying to see if anybody seems important. Is there an individual that people are following around, that kind of a thing, since I can't see details.
Okay, then I will say all you are able to get from this, you're not able to necessarily find any individuals or anything like that. You are able to get it almost like a sort of heat map of like Numenera in the vicinity, because you can see beyond, because you've already got some of that like intrinsically in you at this point. That's something you're kind of like attuned to in a way, and you're able to get like a very decent read on like concentrations of devices, and you're able to notice a few that are particularly significant. One, you notice that the monolith that you got some read on, that's definitely a Numenera device of some kind. People are definitely seeming to be interacting with that in some sort of way that is not visually apparent. You're also able to tell that there is near you, near the town center, a larger structure, probably one of the larger ones that you've seen at this point. It seems like there's a lot of Numenera stuff in there. You as a person would probably know that either this is like a storehouse and you shouldn't enter, or this is an important place where important people live and do work, and it's a 50-50 shot as to which one it is. And also I would say, yeah, actually, you know, I'll say that those are the two things that you are able to detect.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't think logically they would just leave it sitting. There's got to be somebody in there who, maybe if they're not in charge, at least knows what's going on here. So yeah. I guess I'll clamber down and get a little closer to the structure and see if appears to be anybody guarding it or...
All right. Then as we do that, we will pan back to the people inside of this structure. So that would be Verve, Nova, Rashiel, and Licton. You are all in Sabine's house once again. Sabine is there as well as Mayor Winter. I believe Clove would still be there. She's Sabine's apprentice, so it's you know, and you would generally believe that she can be trusted to some extent. Or at least she has not done anything to betray that trust.
I mean, I've worked with her before, probably, right?
And I can attest to her being a good student, so she don't cheat on a test. I'll say that.
So yeah, that you've very much got like a core group here, and Pandora, she is also here.
If she's really good at cheating, you wouldn't know, right?
I trust her.
Well, that's good enough for me. It's fine.
So I think Nova is like sitting in a chair, and you can
Must
see.
be nice. Oh shit! I'm not muted.
Yeah, chairs rule everything around us. It's true. So yeah, she's sitting, and you can see that her hands are like, a little bit bruised around the knuckles, and she's like sitting a little bit stiffly, as if she got a really intense workout the day before, which in fact she did. So what you're telling me is that there's no way to fight against this wind?
Are you able to fight against a swarm of flies?
Well,
honestly, she would try.
I would try.
But
But
that's what
you're-
it be. Yeah.
Try
But
I
it.
could not
you
possibly
gotta,
get them all.
and also these flies just warp your material and your matter into something completely different. So it's not just fighting a swarm of flies. It's
Fighting a swarm of chance moths.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
that's a real good way of putting it, yeah.
Trying and succeeding are two different things as well, to be clear.
So I was thinking, since we know that obviously one of the biggest problems we have is that we know that installations and other forms of Numenera that Sabine and I and Licton and Clove, all of us kind of know about, we know that there are things that can be used for defense against the Iron Wind. The problem is time. So I was thinking, what if we took a page out of Mars' book? And what if we build in the datasphere?
That's something.
Obviously, it is a long shot. We don't know. We only know of what 2 entry points, and it's hard to know where you're coming out.
And neither
But-
one is close by.
But it's the only thing I could think of because I've studied reflector orbs and I know that they are specifically used in defense against the Iron Wind. So
Licton at this is also taking notes in his notebook this entire time while we're all talking. My worry is like none of us have experience as well in terms of making things in the datasphere, so I know time is different. There's going to be a slight learning curve, but maybe splitting the resources. One group tries to make things in the datasphere while others try to do things out here, just in case. Maybe we end up in the future this time instead of the past.
that would be.
I'm gonna knock on wood. 1 sec. That'd be honestly the worst case scenario, and I hope it don't happen.
I thinking about it a little bit more. Mars said could be a little bit unpredictable.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a
experienced
risk that we
that.
want to take.
But
It's the only thing I could think of.
can we afford not to take it? Like, Rashiel's got the reflector orbs. I don't know of any specific Numenera, but if we can kind of do some, like, electromagnetic pulse to disable it in like, a certain range. I don't know. Well, I know you mentioned it when Kai and I were talking, but, Rashiel, Sabine, do you all have any idea how long it would take to make an installation like the one in Charmant? Like, I can't expect it would be more
What
than...
they
Even with 3 of us, it would be, what, a month and a half as
What
a
the-
rush job.
what they had in Charmant was a network. It wasn't a.
That is true. It wasn't one singular.
We could.
It was kind of like a web.
Yeah.
All right.
But
also, but Remnant's like a fraction of the size of Charmant.
Remnant is a fraction of the size of Charmant. My concern is this. If we just divert it, what are we really doing?
But can
If we just divert it, we're kicking the can down the road to somebody else.
But the problem is if we don't got a lot of options. If
We don't.
we either divert it or die trying to destroy it, and like,
Unless you know something about the Iron Wind that I don't know. So I certainly don't know of a source.
and last
No.
time, aren't there multiple veins of the Iron Wind as well? It ain't just one. Am I right in saying that?
No, you're correct. I'm just saying that I don't know.
What-
There are ways to disable machines at a distance. Granted, I'm not sure we would be able to construct something at a far enough distance to where we would necessarily be comfortable with it.
But we could. You may be onto. You actually that makes. You may be onto something there. The Iron Wind, at its core, isn't it just? It's just nanites.
Yes.
It's just Nara.
But the problem is what we keep coming back to. The problem is time.
Right, but we can, instead of trying to put all of our eggs in one large Numenera, we have a lot of ciphers here that could possibly be augmented.
Well, fallback plan still. Whether installations or Nera works. Nova, you haven't had a chance to talk to the Central Intelligence yet to see if they can get high enough altitude. Have you had a chance to talk to them yet?
Since yesterday, no, I have not. I can certainly put myself to use doing that.
Just a quick question. Are we still on the same day, or did we move forward 24 hours for rests?
That is up to you.
Same day, please.
Okay, cool.
Same
That's
day.
fine.
All right.
Cool.
All right. So, panning back out to the front door, Wilo, you approach this large structure. Seems to be, I mean, aside from the fact that it's relatively larger than most other things around, relatively nondescript.
Okay. I might. I don't think I need. That seems drastic. I think I might just approach the door and kind of hold my ear against it to see if I can hear the sound of voices or anything happening inside.
Okay, sure. Why don't you go ahead, and this will be another perception task. I'll put the challenge at, I'll say it's challenge 4 again. And so if you want to spend effort before you roll to reduce the target number, you can do that.
Let's see what happens.
All right.
Oh, 17.
Wow. 17, that'll definitely do it. So I'll say that the most of the conversation that just went on, you would have probably caught that.
Do I recognize one of those voices?
I would say that, yeah, you would definitely recognize one of those voices.
I think there's like a small smile that creeps across my mouth, but I will just knock at the door very gently.
Sure, you knock. On the
I
inside.
swear to God, if that is Varl right now.
I'm pretty sure Varl is...
Like, I'm pretty
Actually,
sure...
I have no idea where Varl is.
Like, I'm pretty sure, if there's a meeting, we're not supposed to be disturbed. That's always the impression I've gotten.
At least if Sabine's inside.
Well,
Right.
I'll get the door. And Mayor Winter walks over. He opens the door, and Wilo, you get a sense of someone who is definitely human shape, but somehow different in a way. They seem to be more angular and almost metallic or crystalline in some way, as opposed to being like a standard expected flesh and blood person. Hello, can I help you?
I heard the voice of someone I know. Please step aside.
Hey,
I'll just.
Who is that?
yeah, you're graceful. You can just sort of bamboozle your way past the mayor, and he's just kind of looking like, does anybody know?
I imagine that Wilo kind of takes a scan of the room, first assessing for any threats, and then I will land on one particular very familiar heat signature and pull my hood down.
Yeah, so the only thing you see that's coming close to the threat is in the corner of the room, sitting in what you can only describe as like a super chilled dog bed. Is this like metallic dog-like thing?
It's the Mozilla Firefox.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Mozilla Firefox. It's this like dog type thing that's registering at probably like 3,000 degrees. And it's got these 3 metallic tails, and it's covered in like a body armor. It's got like a turbine in its chest.
Fascinating.
It's weird, but it seems to just look at you like cock its head.
Hello,
Wilo?
Ligden.
What are you doing here?
I don't know if you know, there is an imminent threat. I would advise that you all evacuate.
Hi to you too?
Who is this?
Why are they saying obvious things?
Everybody
Nice to meet you.
meet Wallow. She's from my village. I don't know why they're here. Yes, hi. Nice to see you again.
I would return the sentiment if I could. The wind approaches. Again, I recommend that you all evacuate.
We're working on that.
Hi.
We're talking about it right now.
Fortuitous.
Wallow meet Nova, Rochelle, Verve,
Howdy.
Sabine, and Maya Winter, and Ash. And I point
Pandora's
to the
there. Clove's there.
dog and Clove.
Hello.
Hiya. Everyone around you, you're kind of familiar with this. A lot of people around you don't seem to know quite what to make of you yet.
Yes. Well, if you have the situation handled, I should be on my way then.
No.
Handled is a bit of an overstatement.
If you
Do
have
you have experience with the Iron Wind? Do you know something?
or information, we're trying to figure everything out right now.
What is there to figure out?
How much time we got?
Very little.
If there's any way to combat it?
Not really.
Oh, but you don't know Remnant.
This is accurate. So perhaps you should tell me what I don't know.
Why? Hold on. Okay, hang on. What? You get the sense that Rochelle was literally about to ask, why are you here? Because I was literally about to say that, and then she thinks better of it. It's like, hold on. Okay. What brings you here?
That is a very good question, which I also would like an answer to.
Well,
Not that I am pleased to see you, but
Yeah, I mean, you're from, like, Podunk Nowhere, right?
yeah.
I suppose that's true. I have just come from that direction, actually, and the wind is sort of moving in this direction, so I thought I might get ahead of it and warn people to get out of the way. You are the first town I have encountered in some time.
That's very community-minded of you.
I suppose it's more just solving a problem before it gets out of hand. Licton, do you live here now?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
I see. Are you still an educator?
Well, I grew into an educator.
I see.
More officially anyway, but, you said that it was on its way. Do you know how long? We were told, like, max 2 weeks from another source, but since you're running from it, is that accurate?
GM, is that accurate?
Right? Yeah. So I would say yes. I would say that that's accurate because you know that the Iron Wind doesn't seem to be moving very directionally. It seems to be, for lack of a better word, meandering. You knew if it took a straight shot here, it would probably be here much faster. But you don't expect it to randomly begin to just like beeline out here.
Okay. I estimate that 2 weeks is probably as close of a guess as you're going to get.
Well, at least it hasn't picked up any speed.
Hopefully it won't. I'm hoping it'll slow down.
So, Wilo, just I guess if Licton vouches for you, that's great. Cool. I don't think we have an interest in running away from this thing, at least at first. Because it's just gonna keep roaming and tearing things apart. Honestly, I think we'd all sleep better if this thing, the Iron Wind, went away just permanently. And so that's kind of what we're figuring out.
It's kind of like trying to get rid of earthquakes. So,
Yes.
But even earthquakes have an end, so don't go on forever.
I'm sorry. It's like trying to get rid of random thunderstorms.
But
Forever.
thunderstorms
Forever.
also have an end.
This is true.
Speaking of thunderstorms, I had a bit of an idea.
Weather spare?
I think we could cannibalize it, for lack of a better word. We already have something that emits a energy field over a radius roughly the size of the town. We could repurpose it.
That is true.
How
We're
long?
talking about repurposing ciphers, so
How long do you think that would take?
The weather spear is already a very powerful thing. I
think between the three of us, we could. 4 of us. Sorry, Clove.
Maybe even Wallow. Not gonna lie.
Do you, Nara?
Wilo, you can easily put together that when someone says Nera, they probably mean Numenera. But like that said,
Colloquialism.
Is this a regional dialect now?
this is
I
a
did it.
specific
You
did it, That's your
like-
long-term goal.
This is a specific regional dialect that you have never heard before, even traveling in the beyond.
Congratulations, Verve.
We did it. Good night, everybody.
No, it's only a win if Sabine does it.
I will give you that.
I dabble, I suppose. What would you have me do?
Wow.
Lend your eyes.
Unfortunately, I cannot.
Your sight.
That
I will pull the blindfold down from my face, and you will see content warning eyeball stuff. You will see that the sockets are empty. There's nothing in there. And one of them has a large, kind of octagonal, almost chip-like object with kind of these spider-like appendages that are clinging to the outsides of the socket.
Oh, that's so badass.
Wait, did you make that?
I did not.
It's amazing.
It's helpful.
I don't know if anything's changed, but Wallow also has a unique view of saying things similar to Nova.
I will turn to Nova. Do I get any sense about her? Is that something I can pick up about them as, like, or do I need... Do you know what I'm trying to ask?
Yeah, I do. I'll give it to you. Sure. You're definitely.
She got her colors flying. That's what I'm asking. She got it out the backside.
yeah.
Like,
I mean, you would notice that Nova is similar to you. We're almost like mirror or photo negatives of each other, just in terms of Wilo wearing all blacks and grays and Nova wearing whites and tans. But you do see a sort of a set of goggles with thick prismatic lenses on them that don't seem to be for sun or magnifying. It doesn't actually seem that you would be able to see through them very clearly. But those are probably dangling at her side at the moment.
do you have the
and
gift?
Is it a gift? I suppose it's a gift.
Verve is nodding.
Sure saved our asses.
It's useful. Well, so you don't mean to outrun it. You mean to weaponize something against the wind.
We can. Yeah.
Backup plan is try to evacuate Remnant, but we literally just found out today, and we're seeing if that our vessel is able to withstand it. That is one of the next things on our to do.
It's a scary possibility, not just losing the city, but losing the vessel would be...
I'm less
It would-
worried about the vessel and more worried about the the thousands of lives that live here.
Ever since the lights came on, Varl has been taking a look at the capabilities of the ruin. I think that speaking to him, speaking to the Central Intelligence, you might be able to get a rough estimate of how many we could take and how long.
I'm sorry, did you say Varl?
I did say Varl.
There was like a a good like image of like pride on Licton's face for Varl when she said that.
Why is
Wow.
everyone surprised that Varl's capable now?
Who is
You know
this?
why?
You know why. Varl.
It's not any less surprising than other stuff, but so we
What
have
is-
we have a backup plan, right?
Hopefully.
If we can fit everyone inside the vessel can and Donut can move.
We hope.
Maybe we have the weather spear. That's seems to be
Fucking
able to be
weather spear.
repurposed, right? What about getting rid of the Iron Wind?
A Iron Wind.
Hey, Iron Wind, sure. We know that it reconstitutes matter and just changes the form of things, but what if we... Okay. Back in the day, I would deal with Nera and all that stuff, and some of them are really, really delicate. If you put too much energy of some sort into one, it ceases to function. Right? What if we did something similar to the Iron Wind?
I'd be lying if
Overload it?
Overload it with some sort of energy, overload it with Licton, you can do like lightning stuff, right?
I have done that before. Do you remember, Wallow? When I was stuck in that thing with the expanding space when we went to go talk out that crow creature?
I recall.
It's something I've done, but not something I've practiced. And I don't have the energy to do a whole swarm of nanites.
I mean, yeah, but we also have other things, right?
So nanites not rewrite each other.
Kind of like when a person's immune system attacks itself.
It is curious that they are individuals, yet say work as a group. Do they?
Probably.
Like a hive mind.
We're a bit less.
I
like
wonder if there's a way to convince them to attack one another instead of us.
that. That's another possibility.
All of these seem to center around the construction or reconfiguration of Numenera.
Yeah. Do we think we could do it within such a limited amount of time?
With the bones of the weather spear, yeah, I think we could.
One of them would probably pan out, I think.
I think
Sabine's been working on this thing forever.
I think we will need to get a lot of help. I think we will need to have a lot of help from not just us who are familiar with Numenera and build things. We'll need to get a lot of help from everybody else who lives here. But this is their home too.
You think Callie's car has something that can deal with the Iron Wind?
It may be something that could help.
I am not above commandeering a few of her ciphers and taking them apart to see if individual pieces maybe could augment the weather spear.
As long as I don't have to ask her and borrow from her, I'm fine with this idea.
I don't intend to ask.
Okay, well, I don't want to be in the middle of Callie and her money again. Last time, I don't want to be chased by a debt collector again.
Oh yeah, Brad.
Shut up.
That was a misunderstanding.
Shut the fuck
And-
up, Verve. Debt collector?
And you paid it back right away.
No, I didn't.
Oh, didn't you?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I must have imagined it. I know you meant to.
I meant to, but anyway, besides the point.
Let me handle her.
Thank
It's
you.
fine.
Thank you, Rochelle. I like her well enough, but no offense, Clove. She can be a pain in the ass.
I mean, yeah.
Mayor Winter,
Yes?
do you know anything else about the Iron Wind? You're one of the only people who's been through it and survived.
I mean, I don't think my experience really tells me a lot about how to fight the Iron Wind.
Well, yeah, but any insight would be helpful. We're kind of starting from zero.
I mean,
Roll an understanding Numenera if you have to, Mayor. It's fine. Just
look, Rashiel, I've been in a thunderstorm and I don't know how those work either.
fair.
Friction
Fine.
between the clouds creates lightning.
Like Nova is like, even I know how a thunderstorm works. But she doesn't say it like out loud.
Yeah.
But she just thinks it like really loudly with her face.
Yeah.
Anyway, Wilo, I know this isn't the only Iron Wind that exists in the ninth world, but what type of changes have you experienced and seen on your way here? Like, is like a, for lack of a better word, a specific type of strain of nanites? Is it turning into something more like, and I mentioned to Mayor Winter, crystalline, or is it just utterly random?
Well, I watched it for some time. It's not behaving any differently necessarily than any other wind that I have witnessed. It is meandering, but it is still heading this way. I did not get close enough to inspect it any further.
And you wouldn't want to get close anyway.
Again, I don't understand the significance of the structure above us. I don't understand why it needs to stay intact and why you can't just leave.
Look, maybe... Licton, would you be so kind as to fill our guest in on the details? I think at this point, we should probably get to work.
True. And I'd do the quick TLDR to Wilo of like, this is like a inhabitable structure that we've salvaged from. This is something that can be lived in now that we might be able to use as an escape route, which would be much quicker and more efficient than running along those lines.
It's the only reason why we live here.
It was essentially to start it off as a salvaging operation until we fixed it.
And you're emotionally attached to it now.
Dependent. Not emotionally, just dependent on it.
I see.
And in some strange way, it has become a part of our story, but it seems somehow that we are a part of its story.
That's very sentimental.
You ain't wrong.
It's not feelings, it's just facts.
Very well. Then I
Alright.
suggest we get started.
So, what would everyone like to do?
I would like to ask, what should I do? Because out of everyone, I have nothing.
I think the best, what route are we following?
Well, I'm going to go talk to the Central Intelligence because I am a Nera idiot. And maybe while I'm up there, I'll ask the Central Intelligence also how I can be helpful.
I'm going back to my workshop actually in the vessel. Leaf through some books and see about. Oh shit! You know what? Actually, never mind. Before I do that, I'm gonna go see Callie's cart / store / whatever it is.
Before everyone
thing.
departs, I do want to quickly bring up, Mayo, Winter, and Sabine did bring up the fact that we're going to need more than just our group to help combat and gather information about the Iron Wind. I know some of us are going to be less than thrilled, but do we want to include our visitors in town?
She'll kind of scoffs loudly and then just leaves.
She's the one who I wanted information and an opinion about, but that's opinion enough, I guess.
They're an extra pair of skilled hands. I don't know if we can afford to refuse their help now.
And also, I know she doesn't like them, but if she thinks that they aren't knowledgeable about Nera, she's got to be looking through hate-filled goggles. Because whether she likes them or not, they are knowledgeable.
Yeah.
There are enough projects so that they don't have to work closely.
Exactly.
There's no point.
Verve?
If this is the safety of our community, we can protect ourselves now and mend fences when we know we're all safe.
That sounds very reasonable. Verve, you asked how you could help. We're going to need a lot of help, and I can't think of very many people who would be better suited to convince people to help build this sort of a Numenera structure beyond you. So do you think you could do some recruiting for us?
Sure. I'm gonna need the flyer. I intend to go ask anyone in Fate.
That.
Wait, this is me, Alex, asking. What did you just say?
If there's like being an ambassador to the areas around us, asking people from other communities to come and help Remnant.
Okay, that's interesting. Because Sabine was suggesting that you just go out and get people to help from Remnant.
Why not both?
Yeah.
In the flyer, Verve can get around Remnant real quick.
I also decided to specialize in piloting for my tier 3s.
Oh my
God.
God.
Yes.
You know what? Sure, let's go with it. Yeah.
Might as well with the fly. You can get there and back and forth in several hours.
You better bring it back.
You have a button that can bring it back.
As long as there ain't another Dread Destroyer, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, and how many of those are going to be around?
Too many.
All right, fine.
Do you get if a Dread Destroyer crosses with the Iron Wind?
You know, I was going to ask that, but instead of the Iron Wind, but with Am.
No.
If they battled and let them fight?
No.
I'm not saying that was a strategy. It's just something that I was thinking about.
This is a bad idea. Can we not think about
when
this?
you have two unstoppable forces.
Rylo, you're getting flashbacks to the giant aircraft carrier-sized bug thing you fought.
Yeah. Can we not? 2 is too many Dread Destroyers. I would like to not think about a third.
And this is the first time you're hearing about another. To your knowledge, Rylo, there was just the one. So now you're hearing about 2.
What would you have me do?
Any way that you can help, honestly. Whether it's any more knowledge about the Aeon Wind or any of your knowledge about the Numenera, either constructing or advising, that'd be very helpful. If you intend to stay, I don't blame you if you want to flee, but any help would be appreciated.
Honestly,
Very well.
Honestly, if you feel like you're not as useful here, I think I could use some help convincing everyone else. I'll leave that to you, though.
I'm not opposed. People don't often take very kindly to me.
If we have to, maybe you can stay here and help either Rashid and Sabine, and if Verve really needs backup, I can go. But I do think he can handle it on his own if need be.
Do you have proper means to defend yourself? To Verve?
Yeah, I think so.
Did Sabine refill those discs on the flyer?
I did. And now we know Verve knows how to use them.
I see. Well, I can accompany you if you think it would be helpful.
If you think you'll be more helpful with me, sure. But if you imagine that being here in Remnant would be more valuable, that I think that's where you should be. I mean, I'm not going to tell you where to go. I'm just letting you know I'm planning on leaving tomorrow morning.
Very well. I'll turn to Nova. Where did you say you were going?
I'm going to ascend into the vessel and talk to the intelligence that controls it.
I shall accompany you then. Do we go now?
I don't see why not.
Very well. I will tie the blindfold back around my eyes and pull my hood back up.
All right. So, what is going to happen now is going to be a sort of wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey skill challenge type thing. Where typically when you build a Numenera installation, what happens is that the people who build it, and usually actually the person who builds it, makes a series of successive building tasks in order to do the thing. This time, however, instead of one person making multiple tasks, multiple people are going to split these tasks up. Does that make sense?
I think so.
All right. So, one of the tasks that is going to be going on, regardless of anybody who's helping, is that a bunch of the town nerds are going to be gathering in Sabine's house for the next few days to put together a plan. This is not a building task. This is specifically an understanding task. Sabine and Pandora will be doing this for probably the next 3 to 4 days, just putting together a plan and doing all the theory and all of that stuff. There's also going to be people who are gathering materials, disassembling the weather spear, increased salvaging operations to get the parts that you need. Hell, even some people who aren't skilled salvagers but also aren't builders are just have the job of carrying heavy shit from the bottom of the elevator to the build site. This is a massive undertaking that everybody in town seems to be doing, taking up some task related to it.
Has Mayor Winter made an announcement yet?
Yeah, Mayor Winter would have definitely made an announcement.
Okay.
Something had probably already been said in the interim period, as soon as you were aware, but afterwards, there's definitely been an announcement and a call to work. So we are going to go quickly around and see what everyone is working on. And yeah, we will do that. So I'm going to start based on how I'm seeing it on my screen. So Verve, you were flying to Enthate to... Is there anywhere else you would like to fly to aside from Enthate?
If there are, we know of other outposts and communities in that run through trade routes with Remnant.
Yeah,
those are the places that I'm thinking of to see if there's anyone that feel like the idea is to see if there's anyone that feels like they can lend aid, lend their services, lend their skills to preserving not only Remnant but the area of the just kind of the beyond, because if Remnant goes down, not to be arrogant or anything, but there's a fair chance that the Iron Wind will eventually come to all of these regions as well.
Yes. All right. So 2 places I can think of specifically that you've already been to that you have some rapport with would be Enthate and the Riverburn Coil.
Sweet.
You'd be able to fly to both of these locations, especially since the coil isn't far by walking. so the flyer, you'd be able to get there in no time at all. So you'd be able to hit these two places probably over the course of like 2 days.
Okay.
So yeah, sure. Why don't we make this a social interaction type task?
Got it.
Do you have any skills related to social interaction?
Yes, I do.
I was gonna say, do we want to see what everyone else is doing first in case someone goes with Verve?
Sure.
Just because I'm a jack and I don't know, and my skills can be like done everywhere, so I kind of want to see where everyone else is going, and if all the other areas are covered, I'd go with Verve.
Okay, sure.
And that would lend an asset.
We'll put a pin on it and let's move down the line. Rashiel, what would you be up to?
As I said before, definitely going to Callie. Gonna do some salvaging.
Okay, sure.
From her ciphers. Just gonna be like, hey, this is important. Thanks.
Sure. Okay. So for like the next few days, then you'll be like disassembling ciphers and like providing materials in that way.
Yes.
Okay, sure.
There are some other things that I want to pursue, but I think that this is, at least for the first part of what we're doing, this is what I will be doing first before I start to implement some other things, because I just had 2 other ideas.
Yeah, and there's an opportunity to this. There are a few different phases to this project.
Right.
So you have multiple.
So this will be my phase 1.
All right, so your phase 1 is going to be acquiring and disassembling some ciphers. So why don't you first make a social interaction check to be able to successfully lift some ciphers off of Callie? Do you have any skills related to pleasant social interaction?
I do. I actually have a disability, an inability, and I have hindered charm, persuasion, and deception.
All right, yeah, so this will be one level more difficult for you.
Can I make an argument, since she's so displeasurable in dealing with pleasant social interactions, it can give her an intimidation bonus if she wants to be intimidating?
Are you trying to...
I don't know.
Are you trying to intimidate this person out of their goods?
I'm not talking to Callie at all.
Oh, you're just going to take stuff?
Yeah.
So it's not charm, it's stealing.
Okay.
Excuse me, Iron Wind business.
It belongs to us. We need it. I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna take arms full of shit and I'm gonna bring it back to my workshop. And if she questions me, then we can talk.
Okay, yeah, she's definitely gonna question you. You're gonna walk up. You can like dig through the cart, like grab all the stuff that seems useful.
Yep, and then yeet.
And as you're walking away, Shields, what the fuck? Where
Don't
are you
call
going?
me that.
My stuff.
I'm going to my workshop, and it's not your stuff. It's our stuff.
It's my stuff. It's in my cart.
With
my
it's
name
in Remnant.
on my cart.
My name's on Remnant. I'm confiscating this for the good of the town. Thanks. All the while still moving.
Okay.
She's not gonna fucking stop me.
Why don't you make a social interaction check to see if she's going to stop you?
She won't.
I'll give you 2 assets because she does know what's going on.
This is bold as fuck.
I was gonna say, I know that I can only have 2 assets, but can one of them specifically be that she knows I'm in possession of an atomic bomb?
She doesn't know that though.
Oh damn, that would be great. That's fine.
Who knows about that, by the way?
What is that number?
I think
that is an 11.
Okay.
I think just Mar.
I think that'll do it. Yeah.
I think Mar's the only one that knows about
I think Mar's the only one, because you were frozen when they were talking about it.
Yeah.
So
also,
no one.
Rashiel, that'll do it. It was a challenge 5 task. So
oh,
yeah.
Nice.
She's like watching you walk. Fine, but you're gonna pay for it afterwards.
Bet.
Send Verve after you.
Oh no.
All right.
Verve ain't gonna do shit against Rashiel.
Worked so well with Brad.
Yeah, but there's a big difference between Brad and Shields.
This is true.
One can be reasoned with.
One is made of metal.
All right. So yeah, Rashiel, you have the opportunity to disassemble these ciphers and to get a lot of like. So you're not getting like a ton of like structural raw material, but you're able to get like power sources and materials you need for like connectors and
exactly.
consoles. And
That's
you're
what I'm
able to get a
looking
lot
for.
of- you're able to
Stuff
get a
that I
lot of
can
the
use to
delicate stuff.
interface potentially with other things. So yeah, cool.
So you're able to get a lot of the delicate materials that you would need to do this. Let's see. Wylo, what would you like to do?
I'm, I guess, gonna go. I think the first thing we were gonna do, I was gonna go with Nova to talk to whatever mysterious entity is in this.
Yeah, is that going to be part of this big skill challenge, or is that like happening beforehand?
Would you like it to be? It'll be. I'm gonna get to you, and it'll. If you would like it, if you like coordinating with the Central Intelligence to be something you do for the skill challenge, it can be. But you can also do something else.
I have 2 check marks in understanding Numenera. Does that help here?
That does help. Yes, that'll help pretty much. With like almost anything you do, really, realistically.
Of course.
Yeah, Nova is not good at that. You might end up being our Central Intelligence point person. Let's go talk to it, see what it says.
Very well. Do we get to go on the weird elevator thing?
You do get to go on the weird elevator thing. Yeah, you go on this you go on this. It really is seemingly nothing more than just like a flat steel square with like these 4 pylons attached to each corner, and you're able to go on. There's like a little interface which Nova is able to maneuver no problem. And you're just it goes up real high, and there's like no like guardrails or anything on here. It's definitely not friendly to people who aren't a fan of heights. But yeah, you were able to go up. It's probably like a few hundred feet up, maybe 500 feet. But yeah, you were able to ride the elevator all the way up, no problem, and you find yourself in this like multi-level, like vaguely cubicle command structure, from which Nova is able to lead you up a few additional floors to find this almost like a weird amphitheater, or like a sort of strange communion type room. It's very much something you can tell is made for interfacing with something. The center of this room is very dark. There's like dim blue lighting, and in the center of this room is almost like this cored out sphere. And as Nova steps in, there's like no one else on this like whole floor. As Nova steps in, you see this featureless, ambiguous blue face, almost like a hologram of some kind, just sort of flicker up to life, facing the two of you. The face is probably like 10 or 12 feet tall. Nova, it's good to see you again.
Hello, Central Intelligence. So I don't want to take your time and tell you things that you already know. There is something terrible coming to our town. Are you aware of it?
I have not been told explicitly, but based on the activity on the ground, I have been able to detect that something is amiss.
This is Wylo, and they have come to tell us the same thing, that perhaps you have heard of the Iron Wind?
By other names, but yes.
Oh, what name do you call it?
The Central Intelligence provides you with a word that you can't really translate. It's more of a feeling that it is able to impart to you than the word itself has any meaning. The word that you are able to get, the feeling that you get from it is something along the lines of like almost like unstoppable consumption is kind of the vibe you're getting.
That is awful. that is somehow more terrifying than what we used to call it, what we call it. We are working very hard to protect the people here by building something that can stop it. But, well, there's a possibility, and Wilo thinks that we may not be able to do this. And in this case, we were wondering if it is possible to shelter here inside this vessel.
While this conversation is happening, I am trying to move around this object and get a read on like, what is this? Because it's not a person.
Sure. Yeah, no, it's definitely not a person.
So what the fuck is this thing?
A couple of things. One is that so like most of the time when you have some sort of hard light or otherwise, sort of semi-material light projection, they're directional. There's like, yes, this is the face, and it's looking in one direction, and like that's how the light is being projected. That's just the geometry of it. This is a little bit different in that like the face is always looking directly at you, like as you walk like around it, like the face is just always like looking at you. And Nova, the face is always looking at you. So like you both are like, oh yeah, the other's probably looking at the back of its head now, but like neither one of you are looking at the back of the head. And it is just like a floating head. Why don't you go ahead and make an understanding Numenera roll if you want to get more than just like a visual.
Yeah.
Visual.
WTF,
summary.
mate. Ooh, that's a 16 plus my check marks.
16. All right, so yeah, that's right. So the check that's two from your skill. So that'll definitely do it. Yeah. So what you're able to determine is that this is the body or projected visual of a very powerful machine intelligence that is able to do a couple of things. You are able, like through the course of the dialogue, you're able to determine like, yeah, this is the control center for the whole ruin. You get the sense that like anything that goes on in here, the central intelligence has an awareness of. You're also able to determine that the central intelligence is able to like passively gather like almost like psychic data. It's able to gather the intent of the people inside it and turn that into material alterations to the vessel itself. One example of this that you are able to put together, which you're not necessarily witnessing this now. I'm telling you this because this is something that the other players have witnessed. This is a very large structure. You're able to tell that the central intelligence is basically able to warp matter and space inside it based on people's intentions, such that you're able to get from point A to point B faster than you should be able to based on wanting to get from point A to point B. Does that make sense?
Yes. So I sense that this thing can understand my will to a degree.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Then can I will it to tell me what the fuck? Like, who are you? What is? Question marks all up in my head. Can it pick that up?
Yeah, sure. You know what? Yeah, why don't you quickly go ahead and make me an intellect defense roll?
Oh. Yeah,
so,
that sounds fine.
As you're having this conversation, Nova.
13?
13, yes. You don't have any skill in intellect defense, to my knowledge.
Nope.
And you did not spend anything from your pool. So
Nope.
yeah, no, that will not do it. You are assailed with what is called a glimmer. These are sort of like random transmissions from the data sphere, random bits of information that like somehow like, every once in a while will like burrow their way into people's minds. You're able to get almost like a brief summary of what this structure is. This place was created as a shelter. You're able to see like an enormous hangar bay area where you're almost like able to see like a time lapse of like thousands of people coming together to build this monumental vessel, and you see people, all different kinds of people, some of whom look humanoid, some of whom don't. It's a hodgepodge of all different sorts of people piling into this vessel from one of 5 different elevators, and they all sort of they're going up and in constantly, and you see the last elevator come up as this swarm of hostile machines is almost like coming like up on the horizon, advancing very rapidly on this vessel. The hostile machines, these automated combatants, are like firing at this vessel, which just puts out its rockets and it is headed straight up for the sky. But about halfway up, the thrusters seem to just turn off, and it's going up, and just it stops, and it hangs in the sky for just a split second before it comes back crashing down.
I will relay none of that to Nova, but instead I will say, are you aware that there's more than one elevator?
Yes, this is the only ones that we have really gotten working.
I see.
The other elevator should be fine now. That's the central intelligence speaking. The other elevator should be fine now.
Oh.
Even the one that was blown up?
3 out of the 4 other elevators should be fine now.
Nova, is there an active force field in place around this structure?
Would I know that?
Would not. This music is way too intense. Hold on.
This is exactly. Actually, they'll be like, this is exactly the sort of thing that I'm so glad you're here to ask these questions. GM.
I was not constructed with such a defensive mechanism.
I see. So, it's a matter of power. The rockets weren't able to reach.
It was a virus.
I see. No longer at our disposal, I assume.
We should certainly hope so.
Oh, no, we do not want the virus to come back. It was not at our disposal in the first place. Intelligence in an emergency, so even if this vessel itself could not withstand the iron wind, could it simply rise above it?
I'm fully operational. There's no reason why the entirety of your town couldn't board, and I could fulfill my purpose a touch late.
Oh. Would you like that?
As much as I'm capable of liking anything.
So Nova considers this. I do have to say that recent events have given me a chance to realize how satisfying it is to do something that you thought you would never get a chance to do. So I'll bear that in mind.
Are we done?
I think that was a simple answer to a straightforward question. And there's much to do on the ground. If you would like to stay here and converse more, so the intelligence is, well, thousands of years old and knows much.
I see. Have you just speak to it?
Yes, yeah, yes, yeah. Very, very friendly.
Have you encountered the wind before? Directly.
No.
So you have no knowledge of whether or not you could withstand it?
Based on simulations and my estimation of the capability of any given instance of the Iron Wind, I'm not confident that sheltering in place would be wise. I can outrun the Iron Wind. I don't see any reason why I should attempt to withstand it.
That was my advice. Very well. We will convey this information. And I will just, heels overhead, start making my way back to this platform.
Sure, yeah.
Backflips out.
Kind of, yeah. That's how I roll.
Literally.
For the sake of brevity, I will say that Nova, you happen to encounter Varl on your way out the door, and you see him leading a small group of salvagers. They're going, it seems to be pretty hard on, disassembling things that they seem to be talking with the central intelligence, okay, what can we break down? What's safe to break down? How do we safely break this down? A lot of communication seems to be going back and forth. But he's leading a small group, and they're going further into the vessel than anybody has before, pulling out random artifacts associated with installations from prior worlds and things that have no function anymore. You see that he's able to give you a brief summary of that they managed to get into a vault of people's long dead people's personal effects. And so they are able to bring out these old pieces of personal technology and, be able to give that to the scrappers. And they're moving ahead at a good pace. And Varl seems to think that there is more than enough capacity in the ship to fit everyone and house food storage enough for for long enough that you could start growing your own food here if you need to. Varl's able to give you a full-on projection, what happens if you need to stay up here for months at a time.
And I'll sort of turn to Wilo, say, remember that, I don't know if he explains this, but this vessel was meant to take people safely away from this place. So you were not wrong to suggest that we could safely run from the wind, but you can see why we would be attached to this place and why it is important. It could be, if all else fails, it will be our lifeline.
I suppose. Attachment can also be weakness.
When it is attachment to survival, it seems to have its purpose.
That is fair.
You seem not to be attached to anything.
Not currently, no.
Before?
Yes. Ligden and I are from the same place. I had a home once. I find it's more useful now to keep moving.
You have a very interesting way of doing that.
Yes, I suppose that's true.
If I moved the way you do, I would do it all day long as well. Well, it's funny as if you and Ligden both have found your way here. I don't believe in coincidences.
I see. So you believe in fate?
Not exactly. I think that there are so many possible fates. No one path that is chosen for us on the days that we arrive in this world. But I find an interesting sort of pattern in how the choices that we make spell out possible futures for us.
Is that not simple cause and effect?
Nova rubs two brain cells together. You know, that is a very straightforward and logical way of thinking about it. This is why I love talking to different people. It's always good to have a fresh perspective on the world.
I believe that we both see much that others do not. That said, I don't know how likely it is that we will mobilize this in time. Is there really no fallback plan?
I think this is a fallback plan.
That's worrying.
Oh, actually, the one question I don't think we asked the intelligence is how long it would take. What lead time?
The Central Intelligence has mentioned a couple of times that it is fully operational.
Yeah. So, okay, when it says operational, just
You
hop on board, push the button.
Yeah, you get the sense that means it
Just warp the fuck out of there, I guess.
Yeah, it might not be a warp based on what a couple of you have seen.
But it might be like a.
It's going. Yeah, you get the sense that you won't need like days. You won't need a day.
Okay.
Yeah, is there anything else anyone would like to do before we quickly hop to break? And I mean, obviously, we need Merrick to get back for that. But...
No, I would have relayed whatever information that might have been helpful to Verve before he leaves, since I've been out and about for years now.
Yeah.
Probably can relay helpful information.
Okay, yeah, sure.
To him.
Verve, put a pin in that. Give yourself an asset.
I've got myself an asset.
All right.
Take that.
And with that, we are going to quickly hop to break before we get to Licton and Verve taking their exploratory journey. All right, everybody. We're going to quickly hop to break. So get up, stretch, get some water, talk to your pets, talk to your loved ones. We'll be right back.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, baby, I love your madness.
Welcome to our Patreon. Here on Open for Adventure, we are making high-quality Dungeons & Dragons content, folks. We have a great big world to share with you, and by becoming a patron, you can help us explore and expand upon this adventure. With your support, we can invest in more amazing artwork, better mics, fancy cameras, and overall stream quality. Not to mention, help us get some amazing new merch that we can use for giveaways. What do you get by becoming a patron? I'm so glad you asked. Let's take a look at the different levels and give you a sneak peek at what you can get at each tier. Did you know that the family of the First Lord Theo, the leader of the rebellion against the Empire, actually invented firearms nearly 25 years prior to the current campaign? The designs for this high-tech weapon are the Delaney family's best-kept secret. Also, they were originally invented by the late First Lady Victoria, Theo's mother. Access to lore leaks like this is what you can expect from the first tier, written in blog-style posts after each weekly session. Ever wondered what goes on off-camera? The next 3 tiers give you exactly that. With Stolen Moments, you can get access to text-based roleplay moments, highlighting experiences that don't make it onto the stream, like Leona's training session with Ray and Asmar. Stolen Moments Plus gives you access to roleplay moments featuring our guests, non-player characters, and historical figures, featuring the likes of Marshall, Annalena, and even the Empress herself. And Roleplay Addiction takes us to a whole other level. This tier gives you exclusive 30-minute videos of canon interactions not otherwise seen on stream, like late-night drunken interactions between paladins or tender moments featuring your favorite character ships. The Warm Fuzzies is super simple. It's everything I've listed so far, and also you get your name on stream after our weekly regular sessions. Every session. And our undying love. And finally, the most epic of all Patreon tiers. Drum roll, please. The Loremaster. This ultimate and final tier gets you first look access at all of the content going into our upcoming, official, open for adventure campaign setting. Lore, maps, monsters, items, dungeons, dragons. Go ahead, have a look around, make yourself at home, and consider becoming a patron to help us make this fantasy world a little bit closer to reality.
Oh, hi. My name is Express Love. I'm the Senmarian god of coffee. Did you know that in Senmaria, every cup of coffee is made with found familiar coffee beans? That's canon. In Senmaria, every cup of coffee is good coffee because it's made with love by found familiar. Did you know that every bag of found familiar coffee features artwork from incredible members of the tabletop gaming community? That's canon. Each blend and roast of found familiar coffee features cool D&D names like Thieves' Cant, Face Step, and Pact Magic. In Senmaria, every royal meeting that Ray attends features the Cartographer's Blend, a brew of coffee made by found familiar in conjunction with Devon Rue. Now that's canon. Found familiar coffee. Buy it today.
Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know, and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. The limit of love is endless, I know. Just do what you want with me. Yeah, I want it all. left to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. And give me your freedom. Whoa, yeah, me to pieces. Yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. Life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces. Yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. Oh, baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. The limit of love is endless, I know. Just do what you want with me. Yeah, I want it all. Could care less the cost. I give you my everything. Some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium.
Have I told you I loved you yet today, Seth? Hi,
Did
we're
it go?
back.
It did go.
It did get it, yeah.
Oh,
I saw
peach
the
emoji didn't go.
I saw the eggplant
peach
emoji. There
didn't
was
go?
not a peach emoji.
There was no peach emoji.
Boo.
Now there we go.
All
Hi,
right.
this is the content you get when you
This
watch
is-
Open for Adventure.
We're great.
Sorry.
Anyway,
I'm not.
We return to everybody in town, basically trying to come up with ways to protect Remnant from a coming incidence of the Iron Wind. Nova, you had an idea for something that you wanted to do to help assist the construction of the installation you will be using to defend the town. What would Nova like to do to help out with the construction?
Lift heavy things.
You most certainly can lift heavy things. This will be a might-related task. Do you have any skills that are associated with lifting heavy?
Oh, yes, Alex. Yes, I do.
All right.
I'm
Let's
so
hear it.
glad you asked. I would like to use Muscles of Iron,
Oh my
s'il vous plaît, which is going to give me advantage. Wait, it's going to ease might-based task for like an extended period of time.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, no problem. All right, so I will say this will be of a task level. I'll say that this will be level 6. They're giving you like the biggest, heaviest, most cumbersome shit to move because they think you can handle it.
Okay, and then in that case, I'll also spend some additional effort.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
you may do that. Yeah, so you've eased it 1 with your
You know what? I'll ease it 2 steps. Why not?
Use it 2 steps with your effort, so that'll bring it down from a 6 to a 3. Target number 9.
All right, fantastic. I'm just trying to figure out some math here.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think. Okay. All right, I'm borrowing some dice, so don't mess up my life, dice.
Oh no.
I rolled a 4.
Oh no!
You
I'm
throw your
good at
back
one
out.
thing, you guys. Oh man.
Okay, so I'll tell you, you're definitely able to still do it. I mean, you are one of the strongest people in town, so it's not really necessarily a matter of like, can Nova do it? But rather than being able to like push the pace of stuff ahead of time, it's more like you're just able to like keep pace with things. Things don't necessarily like clog up on you, but you're not able to like get anybody else a break. Does that sound fair?
I mean, no, but yeah.
Could always re-roll.
You could re-roll.
No, I'm not going to spend my 1 experience point to re-roll.
All right.
I'm just gonna I'm just going to cower in embarrassment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well.
You get a weird cramp at like the most inopportune time.
Right. Verve and Licton, what are you two up to?
I do think that since everyone else was like working on salvaging and there's plenty of Numenera experts in the town, I probably will go with Verve to help with other settlement asking for assistance type stuff.
Sure. All right. So, where would you like to go?
First place, I guess, Reverberant Coil. It seems like the closest.
Yep. That would be the closest place.
Then we can double back to Unthite.
Yeah.
Maybe in any other settlements we can see on the way.
Yeah, Wilo did give me some tips on what's out there. I do plan on stopping by those areas, just on the off chance that someone was around that is so inclined to help.
All right.
At the minimum, tell them to get the hell out of Dodge.
Or go to Remnant.
Like I said, hell out of Dodge.
So we can abstract this to a social interaction task. Who would like to be doing the role?
I will.
All right. So are you trained in? Do you have any
Person
skills
to
that apply to?
Person-to-person interaction.
Okay, sure. I'll say that counts.
And I have I'm trained in persuasion.
All right, so that'll be an asset. You also have, so you got your 2 points of assets. I'll say this will be of a challenge 6. This is going to be pretty difficult to, mobilize any response beyond just, oh shit, evacuate, and save our own skin. So you've got 2 assets. You have a skill. You brought it down 3 levels so far.
Okay.
Target number 9.
Target number is 9. All right.
Unless you wanted to spend effort.
19.
All right, that's a minor effect. How would you like to otherwise augment your success?
If at all possible, the folks that are that are willing to come and recruit are actually just secret savants when it comes to Nera. Not necessarily to like solve all our issues, but to like help out really well with Nera tasks. in this
Okay.
in the coming I know people are gonna roll for Nera, so
Yeah, sure. Okay, I'll tell you what. I will say that the
and if it's
reverberant-
too if it's not
Okay.
if honestly if a minor effect isn't enough, I want to use my major effect that I've got
All right.
held.
Yeah, sure. I'll take the major effect then. So
Great.
the reverberant coil doesn't necessarily have like trained or like proper. It doesn't have formally educated Numenera experts in the way that you have among some of the other people you have back home. That said, they are able to provide you with people who have a different perspective on Numenera. It's almost a more they treat it as less of a hard science. It's to them less like physics and circuitry and almost more like the medicine
Astrology
in a way.
Okay.
It's both art and science. They're still very practiced and measured, but they are also seem to accept much more random variability. And it's more medicine than physics is how they seem to be approaching it.
Sweet.
And what Enthate is able to provide you they are able to provide you with some of their local Aeon Priests. And again, from Enthate, Aeon Priest is a bit of a misnomer. These people probably aren't very associated with the Order of Truth, like, at all. These are just Numenera experts, and out here, every expert is an Aeon Priest.
So they're Aeon Priests in name only.
In name only, yes.
Got it.
And it might not even be themselves who picked that name.
Got it.
So yeah, you've got to and this is interesting enough because you can only get so many of them, because walking out to Enthate will be a trip. You might be able to have people walk from the coil, but anyone you bring back from Enthate probably needs to fit in the flyer with you, so you can bring maybe 4 people.
Yeah, and if we need more trips, we've got a number of days.
I figured we were taking the people from the coil anyway via the flyer because it's just quicker and we'd have to go past Remnant to get to Enthate.
That's true.
Anyway,
Yeah, true. They're opposite directions.
My question is though, is Mar in Enthate?
To my knowledge, Mar is not in Enthate.
Had to ask.
Yeah.
We're gonna raid his cabinets then. Just
Are you raiding his cabinets?
Do you actually want to do that?
no.
Do it. He's not here.
I
What's he
think I
gonna
would've-
do?
We're
He's
gonna
not even
upper
in
deck
chat.
his toilet.
Do it.
Do you want a minor Mar spoiler?
I was gonna say, I think we would have at least knocked on his door.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You knock on his door, no response.
Okay.
Do you want a minor Mar spoiler?
I mean, if Goat is cool with that, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, then I will Goat, if you're watching, please DM me for permission to minorly spoil something you DM'd me a while ago. Anyway, yeah, so you're able to collect a few local scientists, and you head back to Remnant with a decent enough amount of time to spare. Is there anything else anyone would like to do? Rashil, you said you had a couple other ideas that you'd like to try.
I do want to just mention quickly that I'm probably very quiet on like the rides back and forth everywhere.
Okay.
But that's it.
And and also to be clear, there's no conversations anyone wants to have. I don't want to like pull those through.
Oh, I mean, yeah. If Licton's being hella quiet, then Verve's gonna be like, "Why you hella quiet?"
Right, like that.
Not like that. I mean, sure, like.
I don't know. That's also hella Verve.
Yeah.
Yo, why you quiet?
Yeah. On a leg of the journey that I know will take at least an hour, Verve is gonna be like, "You've been really distant, and I would have expected something, but why are you being hella quiet, Licton, Mr. B?"
Don't call me Mr. B. You ain't a student. Unless you're gonna start taking classes, only my students call me Mr. B.
You don't know what I'm planning on doing.
Do you plan on taking a class?
I don't know. Even I don't know what I'm planning on doing.
I don't know. I think I am just a little frustrated. when you opened your mouth the other day, basically telling Kaya that you destroyed the Nera from Charmant after, not that you knew, but I tried to get her off the contractor's back before you barged in. Very bad timing.
Okay. I'm not upset about it. So why are you?
Because if it gets back to Charmant, your head's gonna be served on a silver platter if they can get to you, and I don't like that.
If they can get to me. Listen, Licton. It's not a surprise. I'm not afraid of consequences anymore.
If it gets back to... Sorry.
I think if the people of Charmant need closure, that might be something that they deserve.
The way I look at it, and the way I see it, you know that if they get their hands on you, you're gonna be executed.
Busted you out.
Yeah, but it's just not a fate I want to see you in. If they can catch you, and after all the progress you have made. Because I don't think they're going to listen to reason.
You're worried.
In its simplest matter, yes.
Sorry, Licton. I know we've grown close. I know that we've become some sort of family. I'm sorry if that's it. I'm sorry that my actions have made that family feel threatened.
I just don't want to see you throw your life away.
It's not what I'm doing.
I hope not.
And to be fair, I thought Kai was a friend.
Kai is a friend, but I also...
Your friend's a little bit of a snitch.
She didn't say she was going to snitch.
Yet. We have that deal.
Yet. I don't know what she's going to do, and I don't know if she's going to tell Mother Naomi, and I don't know anyone else's allegiances to Charmant and its authorities. But let's put it this way, I think the only thing that's holding things together right now is the loyalty we have towards each other. That she ain't gonna snitch on you. And I think that's tenuous at best, because the Iron Wind did a number.
Yeah, I know.
It's a very tenuous strand. So I think I have every right to be worried.
Well, at least someone is.
I'm sure other people are as well. Honestly, you should probably be a little worried too.
That's the weirdest thing, though. I'm not. Like, I know I should be. And it does sound a little bit scary going back to Charmant, if that's what this turns out to be and what ends up happening.
Why does... Oh shit, I'm not muted.
Nope.
Alex.
But I don't know. Maybe it's been I've been hanging out with Nova too much. But whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen.
That is very Nova. You ain't wrong. But I would prefer if whatever happening does not involve you being hung. Or however they decide to do it in Charmant.
They're not. That's the last thing that's gonna happen.
But if you're done running, what's your choice? What's your choice if you don't want to run anymore?
Here's the thing.
Like, I'm hearing a lot of controversial statements from you. Like, if you ain't gonna run, they're coming after you.
Running away is different from running towards your destiny.
That ain't
my
as
destiny is
as
not.
You think.
My destiny does not involve my head in the basket.
And is that not running away? Because I'm hearing controversial statements from you. Like, you're either running towards or you're running away from death in this case. If they come towards you and they find out you're here.
I don't know, Licton. You cannot let anyone know.
I'm trying my best. And I will do my best to make sure Kaya does not say anything. But I have not seen her in like 2 years. And before that, at least several more. While we were friends, when we were younger, time changes people. You are a prime example.
I mean, you can't let anyone know what I'm about to tell you. I don't know if Remnant is where I'm meant to be. I know for sure it's not Charmant.
Do you plan on leaving?
I don't know. It's not a secret that I haven't felt really at home on the ground.
You want to touch the dang sky.
Oh yeah. There's something up there.
You have not been quiet about that.
And this might be a way out. Not saying that Remnant isn't great, I just or that I feel trapped. But something's calling me and I don't know how to answer it. So, don't tell anyone, please.
I won't tell anyone if you promise not to steal Sabine's flyer.
She's got a button that can call it back. There's no way I could possibly steal it, right?
I promise not to tell anyone if you promise not to go running in the way of the Charmant authorities.
I'm not gonna run into the Charmant authorities. I might borrow them for a second, but I don't know. I don't know. The issue at hand right now is that we gotta get people over to Remnant to help us deal with this Iron Wind thing, and that's what I'm focusing on.
If you do leave, does that exclude visiting?
I don't know.
All right. I feel a little more reassured, but also much more worried, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, you're not worried, but you're worried.
Yeah. But no, you're right. We gotta focus on Remnant right now.
I wonder how they're doing. Here's your segue. Take it. Take it now.
Sorry, I was looking for something. All right, Rashiel, you had something that you wanted to do, right?
Yeah.
All right. What would you like to do?
So I have this bomb.
Yes, you do.
No.
It's an atomic bomb.
It is.
And I would like to repurpose that bomb.
Okay.
In a way such that it emits something more akin to an electromagnetic pulse that could take out that nanite swarm that we call the Iron Wind.
Okay, how do you propose? So, we've talked about this a little bit. I will reiterate that this is going to be something very dangerous because you are changing the entire functionality of what this thing is.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Nova, can you do me something real? This is something unrelated. I just need it to be done. Can you roll 1d6 plus 3 and tell me what you get?
Okay. Does this involve lifting anything? Because I think we've established I can't.
This does not involve lifting anything.
I am a noodle. Hey, that's a 5.
Your muscles are weak
5
from
plus
working out the day
3.
before.
That's
fine.
right. That's a 5 plus whatever, 3, 8.
All right.
Is that good?
So, that is good. We'll touch on that in just a second. So,
Maybe.
This is going to be very difficult. And the consequences of messing with an atomic bomb are pretty severe in that you might accidentally trigger it. Like, that is the consequence for, like...
Is there anything that I can do to help? Is it a secret that she's working on this?
No one knows I have it.
Yeah,
Literally no one, except the Central Intelligence.
Nobody knows that I have a bomb.
What happens if you set off an atomic bomb in the data sphere? Anyway.
Probably bad shit.
I mean, it can't be good.
I'd imagine bad shit. Super radiation. So before I commit to this and or not commit to this, the biggest question I have is you're like, oh, it's gonna be hard. Yeah, whatever. I have a gold star in understanding Numenera. I have some assets in the form of like, you know, shit, because I'm a Numenera expert and I'm also mechanical. I've used flesh with steel, as my sentence says. I could probably interface and like exert my will a little bit onto it. So like...
So this, I would say that this would be probably like a challenge 9.
Like,
so. I don't know what assets you have available to you, or what fuses. Because are you flesh with steel or mind with machine?
Flesh with steel.
Okay, I don't know what abilities flesh with steel gives you, off the top of my head. So I don't know if there's anything that gives you an asset to futzing with ciphers. So there's that, and also, yeah, you can definitely spend your effort, but that's only going to be 3 levels.
Can't you interface? You've interfaced.
Yep, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, you'll have to tell me what.
So I can directly interface with some things. I just want to find it so I can read it. If I can.
I love the idea that like Rashiel is like tinkering with this incredibly dangerous machine, and then like in the background out the window you see Nova like the heaviest box like staggering around, also, falling over.
While and this will be for something that also happens later. God, you know what? Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, we'll do it while Seth is looking this up. Nova, how would you like 1 experience point?
I would like that a lot.
All right, who would you like to give your 2nd experience point to?
I'll give it to Rashiel.
All right.
I need that reroll.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a real good point.
Rashiel, have you found your thing yet?
Yes.
All right. What does interface do?
It is a tier 2 ability for Fuses Flesh with Steel interface. By directly plugging into a device, you can identify and learn to operate it as though the task were 1 level lower. Enabler.
Okay, so that's learning to operate it. That's not learning to change what it is.
Yeah, but it's still operating it in a way, right?
No. I can drive a car and operate a car just fine, but I can't like turn it into like a spaceship.
Okay, well, not with that attitude, you can't.
Come on, Alex.
You know what?
Okay, fine.
All I'm saying, it'll be very difficult. I'm not telling you can't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want to bring Sabine in on this?
Yep. Yeah, I do. I do actually. Yeah, since I'm losing that asset, then yeah, I absolutely the fuck do. I'm gonna ask her to come up to the vessel to my workshop.
Okay, we'll hit that in just a second.
Cool.
So,
I need to look something else up anyways.
All right. So, we're going to flash forward through some stuff so we can get to everything we want to hit tonight. Verve and Licton, you were able to get back to town, no issues. Interestingly enough, though, once you get back, there's something in the vessel that you didn't, not the vessel, flyer that you didn't notice before. A small black box.
Oh shit.
Are you bringing Invisible Sun into this?
I'm not, I promise. Yeah, it's a small black metal box.
Go get the key.
It is addressed to Nova.
Was this always here?
I honestly don't think so. I mean, last time we messed with the box, that was when we had to deal with Nova as a giant starfish, right?
I think so. Do I recognize the handwriting?
Yeah, sure. Well, actually, you know what? No, I'm not sure you do.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Whose handwriting have you seen?
I don't know. If it's anyone from the coil, I'm sure I've seen like a handful of people's handwriting.
It's a regular box, right? It's not like a glowy box of Nera.
Oh, it's just it's a box.
Okay.
Like a container.
I mean,
I'm curious, but I don't want to open up other people's mail.
yeah, I'm just gonna let's just find Nova.
Can I do a little shakety shake though?
Sure, Shakey to Shake is full of stuff. There's a bunch of stuff in there. There's clearly some metallic parts in there. You get the sense like probably some Numenera or some random bits of scrap metal.
Did we notice it after the coil or after the trip from Enthate and the other communities?
You would notice this after the trip to Enthate and the other surrounding communities.
Well, I guess we just bring it back to Nova, though. I am very confused.
Bringing it over to Nova.
Might as well. I don't know why whoever put this in here didn't just give it to us, though.
Nova, you got a package.
Yeah, we're not sure from who.
Mail time.
Mail time.
Alright.
Here, it was in the flyer at some point. Don't know when it got put in there.
Licton shook it. I'm not responsible for anything that broke. Don't blame me.
Thanks, Verve.
All right.
So yeah, I put down my big old box of.
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't an atomic bomb or anything.
Why would it be an atomic bomb?
I don't know.
You guys don't know what that is.
I do know what to. Are you here? Who said that?
The disembodied.
The scolding voice of Rashiel.
So I know things. I do know things.
But here, it's you have a mail.
Are you going to open it?
That's very odd. I'm not expecting any mail, but
I don't recognize the handwriting. It doesn't look like, at least for to my knowledge, it ain't anyone from the coil.
do I recognize the handwriting?
No.
No. Just for funsies, I'm gonna look through the box.
All right, sure. You pop it open. The first thing you see.
No. I want to look through the box.
Oh yeah, you can do that.
Beyond.
Yes.
Look beyond the box.
Okay. So
Just in case it's an atomic bomb,
see.
whatever that is.
Okay, so you see a few things in there. You see a set of papers, documents of some kind, physical written documents. You see a few various what look like Numenera devices of some kind. They look like they may store information on them. You see a sealed envelope, and you see a multicolored cloak cape type thing. Something that you know would only be made, or wait, no, I'm lying to you so bad. I'm sorry, I got my notes confused. You see a pair of goggles similar to yours.
Oh. I thought you said they might be yours. I was like,
no, similar
what?
to yours. Yes.
They look kind of like
A pair of goggles similar to yours. You see some Numenera data storage devices, and you see some written notes in a sealed envelope.
Great, just writing that down. Okay, well, it doesn't, as I can see, it's got an assortment of objects. It doesn't look dangerous. At this point, I'll pop it open.
Sure, you pop it open. And inside, the first thing you see, the written documents are, you recognize these immediately. These are maps and schematics and other pieces of information that you would have known were written by the people of the Reverberant Coil that were supposed to go to the Pilgrim.
I knew it. I knew it.
Motherfucker.
So that's the first thing you see is this collection of materials that were supposed to come from the Reverberant Coil and go to the Pilgrim. Second, you see these storage devices. They contain Numenera plans. Specifically, you have plans for 3 Numenera devices. They're called Casting Pad, Null Field Generator, and Mind Shard.
Null Field.
These are so cool sounding.
Mind Shard.
The Mind Shard.
Okay.
And finally, well, actually, not finally. You see there's a pair of goggles very similar to yours, but somehow different. I would say that you are able to detect craftsmanship of your people when you see it. This is a set of goggles very similar to yours, but augmented somehow. So mechanically, this is what's called a focusing suit. These specifically augment your focus. In this case, it's taking the appearance of your goggles because I think that's what would look coolest. But so you have what is called a level 8 focusing suit. It's an artifact that interacts with your focus, and I will send you the details for that. Let me quickly.
So I'm just going to. This must be from. Must be from the Pilgrim. Did you see Mar on your trip?
We knocked on Mars' door. No answer.
And I have. Oh, go ahead.
I ain't home.
I have permission to spoil this now.
Yay!
So it's a good thing that you decided not to break into Mars' house, because the last thing he told me before he left Enthate is that he was planting a bomb inside his house.
Motherfucker.
Right?
Is there any? So I'm just gonna.
Nova, you can check out the focusing suit, and it's up to level 8. You have all of the abilities up to and including level 8. You can check that out in our private Discord chat.
Okay, I'll check that out. Whoa. Okay.
Finally, there is a sealed letter which is addressed to you, and I will read it. This says, Nova, once I set out to be something greater than I am, something for others, something grand. Then I met the world, then I found complexity, and there I found my grand purpose in perspective. My friends and family deserved better. They deserved to have their way of life enhanced and celebrated. I had a goal, I had a purpose for a while, but eventually I stopped searching so diligently. I never gave up, but I stopped feeling passion. I stopped being a pilgrim. I know you said that you had given up the title too, but when you found me, your journey put mine back together. And in your simple, unwavering drive, I found my pilgrimage again. Sorry I didn't stick around, and sorry I poorly hid myself from you. With this are all the gifts given to me that you should have had. Plus a few extra things, investments for Remnant, plus a few plans I found over the years. I have a feeling Sabine can figure them out, but if she has any questions, I'm sure Verve can figure out how to contact me. May the sand in your winds hold the touch of those you love when you are far away from home. Grace and sincerely, Mar. Oh gosh, what have I done?
Yeah, what have you done?
I zipped my jacket over my headphone cable.
Oops.
Oh. So Finley is crying on the inside. But Nova is just reads the letter and sort of will briefly summarize. Hand the letter to Verve since he was mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
But then sort of turn to Wilo, I think. Say, see? No such thing as coincidences.
I do not, but if you say so.
I don't think Wilo has the context to fully understand what is the circumstances of this situation, and
Nova cares not at all.
All right.
Alex, before I forget,
Mm-hmm.
there is something I would like to do semi-long term, kind of similar to what Rashiel is doing with the bomb. You know that staff you gave me a very long time ago?
Yeah, I do.
I want to kind of repurpose it as well, but to see if I can use it to find something to help combat the Iron Wind, or do it as a vice versa. Instead of summoning something with the staff, send the nanites somewhere else.
Okay, so again, this will be very difficult.
I thought of that.
Yeah, so this will probably be of a challenge. I'll say this will be equal to the level of the staff, so this will be a challenge 7.
Okay. I think I would also want to do this somewhere else as well. Maybe getting definitely other Numenera experts, so maybe like Rashiel and I convene on Sabine at the same time.
Okay, sure. I promise I will get to
That's
you
fine.
when you do that. However, I want to get to something real fast first. Nova, at some point over the next few days, and this is going to be some weird time hopping stuff, so you're going to have to bear with me. At some point over the next few days, and this is after you've gotten your things from R, after you've done a lot of work, getting stuff from the elevator to the construction site and vice versa, after they've gotten back, and after you at this point know that the installation you're building is very nearly done. It's night. It's not quite midnight. It's earlier than that, but it's definitely past the time most people have gone to sleep. The build site is still frantically busy. Most of the nanos and other Numenera experts in town are on this thing 24/7. There are like lights focused on. It's sort of like off. It's like off a bit from the center of town, but it's still very much the center of town, to where like everybody's kind of like aware of like work going on at all times, and it's just kind of the noise and the clutter and the activity are just something you have to live with at this point. You plural, you collective. You on your way home, at some point you smell something. Again, sees beyond in your case is a bit of a misnomer, because all of your other senses are heightened too. You're just a human, so your primary sense is sight. But you get a sense of something that just smells rancid.
Oh, it's not bread pudding.
It smells like rust and blood. It's terrible.
Oh.
It is a very foul, strong odor.
Like an old wound?
Something like that, yes.
Oh. I'm gonna go check that out. Is there any, but it's pretty much empty around here?
It's mostly empty. The build site is still active, but like, once you leave like the exact center of town, the activity dies off pretty rapidly. So yeah, you are able to basically follow the scent, and what you are also able to very rapidly pick up is like a high-pitched whine in your ear. You're able to follow to this sort of like, it's like a real out-of-the-way place, somewhere like halfway between the center of town and your house with your rock garden. You see like a small like stone that has been like upturned or somehow disturbed, and underneath it you see a small like chrome cylinder that has on one end has a blinking red light.
Why me? Why me always with these things?
'Cause you're the one with the special senses. I didn't pick that focus. You did.
I thought I was like, because I'm the one who always like picks things up and pushes the buttons and gets turned into things. Yeah. Alright. That's true. So yeah. With that, I think I will take a look at this with my goggles. I don't know what it is. Have I ever seen anything like this?
Yes, you have, but not in this form. Once you put on your goggles, things are a bit more clear. You have seen something like this before, though not in this form. a long time ago, you entered a purely red room.
Oh, yeah.
And in this, all of the red, you remember, was based off of this one particular cobbled together Numenera device, which when you looked at it, looked like it was stringing this impossibly long yellow worm-like thing through the sky to the south. This is doing something very similar. You're holding a transmitter, a beacon of some kind.
Oh. Wait, let's see if I have. I probably have those notes, but it's been a long time. Okay. Where does it seem to be going?
East.
Oh. I'm going to. I don't want to touch it, but I'm just going to like put the like edge of my spear like in the beam, just kind of.
Passes through, no problem.
I'm gonna nudge it very gently.
You nudge it, and it's almost like you've agitated something inside it. The high-pitched whine seems to increase in frequency.
I stopped nudging it. I stopped nudging it. I don't nudge it anymore. Actually, before I do anything else, you know what? I am going to activate the spear, and I'm going to ask for its help, the help of the data sphere. The data spear.
Sure, you activate the data spear.
I know I'm not good at this, but I'm wondering if I can find out what this is.
All right. So this will be I'll say this is a level 5. This object in particular is level 5. So this will be a level 5 understanding Numenera task. Do you have
and I do have a inability in that, but the data spear can help.
The data spear does not give you an asset; it gives you the ability to ask. So you can spend effort from your intellect pool. But that is about all you can do if you don't have any skills or assets.
Okay. So it's not understanding Nara to understand the thingy, it's understanding to ask the data sphere.
It's understanding to ask the thing. But yeah, it's understanding to ask the spear.
Okay.
Yeah, to ask the spear and process the answer you get. It is understanding.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The spear does not help you ask it. The spear just allows you to ask.
Gotcha. Okay. Yes. So I will spend. I'll go ahead and spend 2 levels of effort. Really working my brains here.
All right. Sure. Brought it down from a level 5 to a level 3. Target number 9.
Oh, that again. All right, dice. Hey, that's a 17.
17. All right. So you're able to consult the data spear, and what happens is basically you get like a vision almost of this device, like lifted up and like disassembled into its like component parts in front of you. You see this chrome shell with like a little red light on the end of it. You see, various bits of Numenera wiring and cabling and such that you assume is the transmitter part. Concerningly, the interior of this thing, what is producing the high-pitched whine you are hearing, appears to be a sample of the Iron Wind itself.
Oh no. Wait, although, does that help us? Maybe, I don't know anything. Finley has some questions, but Nova is dumb.
You're able to put together that this thing is somehow in contact with the Iron Wind.
Okay. From this, am I able to deduce whether it would be harmful or dangerous to pick it up or move it?
It's safe to move.
Okay, so I'm gonna move it with haste.
It is not safe to break.
I'm going to move it swiftly with haste, but also safety to Rashiel.
All right, sure. So, moving back, Rashiel and Licton, you have converged on Sabine's house at the same time. You come into her house, knowing like what her shift would be, because you're also on shifts. at the installation, and you come into her house, and her house is pretty much open to you. You're pretty much at liberty to walk in whenever you want. If the door is locked, don't come in. But if the door is left unlocked for you, you're welcome in. Is pretty much the social agreement you have agreed to. You come in, you see Sabine looking just like utterly exhausted, just like half asleep over her own workbench, poring over plans and various small devices. Oh, Rashil, Licton, hey, what's going on?
Hi. I don't know about Rashil, but I come and ask for help, and I'm carrying like a staff that's probably like 4 feet tall, with what kind of looks like a telescope at the top.
Yeah, sure. What you got there?
What about you, Rashil? I don't want to interrupt you too. Mine's like a backup of a backup of a backup plan, so.
Mine is just a stupid idea.
So we're all here for the same reason?
No.
I'm here because I live here.
Okay, not between me and Rashil.
No, mine is way,
You're saying your idea is stupider than mine. That's science.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Rashil, let's hear it.
Do you have the thing out right now?
Were you oh, no, not yet, no.
Okay.
No. Do you remember that one time when there was like a little tiny baby version of me?
Yeah,
and it came up to me and it like gave me something that I didn't want anybody to know what it was.
Yeah, you were acting shifty.
Don't
worry about it. It was really weird.
Sabine, like you know weird stuff happens here. Well, what she gave me was this, and I'll produce it. It is a doomsday device.
What?
Okay, Rashil, don't you think that's being a bit dramatic?
No, it's literally a doomsday device.
Here, watch.
And I'll give it to Sabine just so she can look at it and see for herself that I'm not.
Sure.
And
She
you
takes
didn't
a look at it, sort of like.
You didn't tell anyone?
Nope.
That sounds about right.
Rashil, what the fuck?
I know. I don't know why I have it, but I do.
What the fuck was the Central Intelligence thinking?
I don't know.
Okay.
I've been holding on to it this whole time. I haven't done anything irresponsible. I've thought about using it irresponsibly.
I'm sorry.
But I'm glad I held on to it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. What I'm thinking, if there is a way, and I know this is risky, please save that, okay? If there's a way that we could repurpose this thing into being just physically destructive, into being just electromagnetically destructive, and we could repurpose it against the Iron Wind. Otherwise, perhaps we could dismantle it very carefully.
I would like to do that one at minimum.
Some pieces of it to augment the weather spear.
Okay.
To interface with that horde of nanites.
Okay.
Terrifying.
So.
Honestly, I forgot I had it until now. So.
Okay. How do you forget you just have a doomsday device on you?
That's a little bit concerning, but anyway.
There's a lot going on.
I'm also here for something similar, but this is the more concerning.
I told you mine was bad.
Wait, what, Sabine? What?
Okay.
My item ain't as terrifying as this bomb.
Okay, Rashil, here's the problem. If we don't know what we're doing with this, and we accidentally trigger it, there's no stopping this. That's my big concern.
I agree. That's why I brought it here instead of playing with it myself like I thought about doing.
Okay. It's possible. It's theoretically possible, but it's a risk.
Oh yeah, I know.
To be fair though, ain't everything what we're doing a risk at the moment?
Everything that we're doing at the moment is a risk, but here's
that's
the
why
thing.
I'm bringing it to you guys.
Risk, if it goes poorly, we won't even be alive long enough to worry about the Iron Wind.
Problem solved.
No, not
Rashil!
problem solved. Rashil!
Look,
I swear. Oh my god.
At the end of my rope, you guys.
Obviously.
We all are. I understand. I'm just saying that. Look, it's theoretically possible. I don't know if that makes it a good idea.
Oh, it's not a good idea. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
I'm just bringing all of the possibilities to the smartest person I know to see if we could somehow maybe use this thing that I've had for no reason to do something useful.
I just.
You've made Sabine speechless, which I've never seen before.
Oh, she does it all the time around me.
Can I show up now with my thingy?
Well, let's quickly tackle Licton's issue as well.
Oh, that's right.
Licton.
Yes,
Rochelle, I'll come back to you.
Okay, and I'm just gonna sit obediently in the corner.
Licton, what do you have there?
Crisscross apples.
Nothing as dangerous. Well, debatable.
I told you.
Nothing as concerning as an atomic bomb. All I got something is a staff that can summon an ultra-terrestrial.
I'm sorry?
Licton!
What?
Only an
I haven't used it.
How long
There's
have
been
you
no
had? Where did you get this from? We know where I got my bomb.
It was in my bag that we got from the vessel when we went to find Varl.
Years ago?
Oh, yeah.
Licton, the last time we saw an ultra-terrestrial, it was a giant starfish that almost accidentally destroyed the town.
Hence why I haven't used it, but I was thinking something along the same lines of shield, repurpose it, and maybe kind of using it to do the vice versa and send it off into space. I just put it away in my bag.
Look, both of these things are theoretically possible. I'll say this. I've worked with both of you. If you really think that what you have is a good idea and worth pursuing, then I trust you.
Maybe not a good idea.
Fine. If you think it's worth pursuing, then I trust you. But I am at my breaking point trying to make sure that the installation we're working on right now goes up. I'm sleeping 2 hours at a time every 18 hours. I can't commit to anything else. If you need any materials, if you need tools, if you need a place to work, I will provide you with everything I can. I personally just can't.
Your efforts are better placed somewhere else.
I'm sorry.
No.
Oh my god, don't be sorry.
Please don't. If you're
There's
sorry, you'll get a couple more hours than 2 hours of sleep each night. How about that? Because if you're only getting 2 hours of sleep, you ain't at your peak performance. That's why you have assistants.
Like then I couldn't sleep if I wanted to.
Alright. Maybe we'll sit on this a little longer. In the meantime, we can help with everything else, Shield.
Of course, I wasn't planning on abandoning everything for this long shot idea. I just wanted to put it on the table as a plan Omega.
And yeah.
Rashiel, would you at least do me a favor and bring that back up to the ruin?
Oh yeah, of course. No, I'm not gonna let. No, here she'll like, tuck it back into her. I'll keep it on me at all times.
Yeah, if you want to bring that.
Yeah, I have a dog, so
that'd be great. All right.
Q Nova.
No, I was actually going to ask Rashiel, are you going to bring that up to the vessel?
Yep.
All right, sure.
But I don't know. I think it'd be kind of hilarious. So it'd be like, it's like, all right. Would I know to look for you in Sabine's on my way up?
Okay, so Nova, are you looking for Sabine or are you looking for Rashiel?
I think I was looking for Rashiel.
Okay, you would probably, like, the first, like, Sabine's would be on the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but...
So I'm, like, walking through town, like...
Do you mind if I... So...
Whatever, wherever, I'll go wherever.
I'll ask you this. Rashiel, how would you like an experience point?
Of course I want an experience
All right,
point.
then you may take an experience point. You happen to head up back to your room in the vessel prior to Nova arriving at Sabine's.
Who's
And
the
we'll touch
other
on that. That's the second.
point going to?
Well,
Yeah, Rashiel, who's your second experience point right here?
I don't know who doesn't have experience. Anybody else at a flat 0 like I was? No. Verve, you got 2. Nova, you have 2. Licton has 2. Well, I'm just fucking roll for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nova.
Hey.
All right. So Nova, you bumble your way into Sabine's holding this transmitter. Oh, Nova, not you too.
I think I left at this point too.
All right.
I was looking for Rashiel. Is Rashiel here at this moment?
Rashiel just left, but what do you got there?
Oh, I can go look for, actually. I found this. I think it is extremely bad and important. It has the Iron Wind inside of it. You should here.
Poor
Take a look.
Sabine.
All right. Hey, I'll tell you what. Do you mind getting the rest of everyone back here?
I will do that. You just, I think you should take a look at this.
Yeah.
It seems very angry.
Mm-hmm.
And this button, this little light, it is sending out a transmitter to the east.
Yeah. Why don't you go get? Rashiel's doing something important right now. She'll be right back down. Why don't you go get Verve, Wilo, and Licton?
I'm just going to set this right here. I'm sorry it is so stinky.
It's fine. You're the only one who can smell it. She's like, what are you talking
about? I know it is awful. I'll open the window on my way out.
Thank you, Nova.
And I'll go get those people.
Sure. All right, so we're going to hop over to Rashiel for a second. So, Rashiel, you head back up to your laboratory, and interestingly and distressingly enough, there is someone inside here.
Who gave him access?
You would recognize Mother Naomi from very far away, but she's not very far away. She's in your room. Sort of perusing.
Fucking Varl, god damn it.
Perusing?
Why are you here?
I wanted to speak to you.
That's too bad. Why are you here in Remnant?
Been in the area.
What do the Aeon Priests want with Remnant? I know you want something. You're not here just for the good of...
You have quite the exceptional setup here. We would be remiss to not at least take a look.
Of course, you want the vessel.
I never said anything about that.
Of course. Well, you want it. What do you want, Naomi?
I want to know I want to know how you ended up here. In the middle of absolute nowhere. Without two shins to rub together. Wearing what looks like clothes that you might have purchased 4 years ago. What are you doing?
Kind of sad. I've done a lot of changing and growing the last few years since I left that pile of shit called Charmand. And it's a little bit pathetic to see that your priorities have not changed at all. You're still just as outwardly focused and shallow as I remember you. So to answer your question, none of your business. Why are you in my room?
Well, Rashiel, because you've already made one exceedingly poor decision since I saw you last, and I'm hoping that you won't make another.
And what would that be, Naomi, who apparently knows everything?
Whatever. Just know what's best for the people here. Know what's best for the people outside of your borders. Do you really think that all of this technology is best served here? In the middle of nowhere? With a few thousand people benefiting from it? You don't think that what we could learn from this somewhere else, somewhere we could apply the technology more broadly, you don't think that would be better for more people?
You don't know anything about the people here. You just got here. And you think that they're not just as deserving of what we built?
Well, you didn't build this. You found this. And I think that you could fill this structure with your village 10 times over and have room to spare. It's not about who deserves. It's about hiding all of this away from the world.
So you think that you are going to redistribute as you see fit?
Perhaps.
Of course.
Rashiel, I'm going to make this very simple for you. I'm going to ask that you stay out of my way for the time being.
And why the fuck would I do that?
Because I can make your life exceedingly difficult if you don't.
You've kind of already done that, so...
Oh, it can get much worse, I assure you.
And yet somehow I find myself not intimidated by you anymore.
So is that a no then?
There's an emphatic no.
Unfortunate. You see Mother Naomi reach into her robe And she produces a small remote, and she presses a button, and all of your implants shut down. Your vision begins to swim as you just collapse onto the floor. Your central nervous system, your lungs, your heart still seem to work, but every moment is a struggle. Shio, I warned you. Now, sit tight. In a few hours, it'll all be over. And maybe when it is, we can talk some more and you can reevaluate. She walks out. And I'll just give this one to you. She sort of like waves a hand over the door as she leaves, and you get the sense that it's some sort of like improvised lock, some sort of nano ability that she's interfacing with the vessel to lock you in here. And we will cut back down to the ground team, who have all assembled in Sabine's house. All right, everyone. In the time that it took Nova to get you all, let's figure out what this thing does. She sort of like absently just tosses it.
Didn't you say Rochelle was coming back down?
Yeah, I did. I'm sure she'll catch up. Maybe she's caught up by Varl. God knows he can talk.
I feel like her patience has been worn thin. I don't know if she's in the mood to talk with Varl, of all people.
Varl will talk to you whether or not you're in the mood. I'm sure she'll get here. Anyway. This is a beacon to the Iron Wind. Someone is bringing them here. It here.
Think we can turn down the transmitter?
I already have.
It's off.
And now it's off, but at a best guess, it's been running for a few hours. At least. Long enough that any information it was supposed to be transmitting has probably been...
It's on its course.
Yeah.
So it was coming here already, but this has sped it up?
Yes.
So taking a bad situation and making it worse.
Or at least all but guaranteed it was going to come here. I mean, in theory, it could have passed us by before. It was ambling aimlessly. Now it's definitely coming.
Why would anyone do that?
I don't know. For the same reason King Crimson showed up a year and a half ago.
I turn to Verve. And but I'm talking to everyone. Do you think we can reroute its course if we re-enable the transmission and maybe head out on the flyer, head out to a remote part of the beyond, replan it, re-enable it, put it in a different direction?
Maybe it's possible, but I don't know if you'll be able to outrun it in the flyer. And if you're carrying that on you, then it's going to be chasing you. Not to mention the fact that we don't know who put it here.
No one in our town has anything like this.
No.
One of the new people? A new arrival?
I guess. Yeah. We have Navier looking over every shipment manifest from the past year. Nothing like this has come through.
Wallow and Sabine, knowing what we know now, like, while you've seen it, you've been out running it since. How long do you think we have now, knowing this?
Wilo, your best guess would be a day max. If it took a day, you'd be shocked.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of... We don't have time for installations, I'm not gonna lie. I'm liking Rashil and my ideas better.
We can finish. If we push very, very hard, we'll be able to finish in time. You want to try something else? Like I said, I trust you.
Excuse me, Nova. Where did you find this?
Under a rock in the center of town.
Without saying anything else, I'm gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
If you come across Rashil, can you tell her to hurry here? She's one of our
Nova.
brightest minds, so...
Nova, please accompany me. Show me where.
I take her to there. I take them to there.
Wilo, you are brought to a seemingly innocuous little side street.
That woman said this has been active for a few hours.
Yes, that is what she said. Not days, just in the last... Since today. So someone was here today.
I see. I will take off the blindfold.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to pull out, I assume it's probably in some kind of small case. But this like really tiny little case, and I will open it, and inside there appear to be, you would be able to see, Nova, it looks like contact lenses, but they have like wires going across them, kind of looking thing. And I will pull the blindfold down and take the chip out of my eye and just kind of like insert this contact lens onto this chip. And what do I see, GM, as I hold out this chip in my hand?
So I will just say, for the ease of this, that you're able to basically like rewind back until you're able to catch something. You see a lone woman who you're able to process as this is like an Aeon Priest, based on their sort of robes. They're being escorted. This one person is being escorted by 6 fully armored humanoid individuals. This seems to be like, decently late at night, to the point where like no one's really around. She looks, she seems to like look around, and she just sort of drops this thing on the ground and like waves a hand, and it sort of like rolls itself and tucks itself underneath the rock. She just walks on by. The whole thing takes maybe like 20 seconds. She like does this as she's walking.
And Nova can see this as well, correct?
No, this is a contact.
I'm the only person. Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. I will relay that information to Nova and describe the individual as best as I can, in as much detail as I can.
Sure. Verve, where are you? Did you go with Nova?
I wasn't requested to go, but I am here.
Okay, sure.
In Sabine's, waiting for instructions.
Okay.
Because that's what I do.
Okay.
Do you... Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, Nova and Wilo, what do you do with this information?
What do you see?
After I describe as much as I can, since I don't know this fuck from Adam, ATOM, do you recognize this individual? Does it sound familiar?
Would this person be Mother Naomi, perchance?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, just checking. Oh, that's... Rashil was right not to trust this woman.
Where is Rashil?
She's not at Sabine's, and she will be in her workshop up in the vessel.
Do you
She
have any-
recently set up a space there.
Do you have any form of communication? Can you call her?
We don't have like instantaneous communication.
We got
so-
like cell phones or like beepers or like what the fuck is going on out here in the beyond?
I just yell real loud.
The best thing you've got is that obelisk in the center of town.
Yeah.
That ain't you. That ain't.
In all the days I've been here, have I figured out what the fuck that thing does?
Yeah, sure. It's like a message board. People can like walk up. Yeah,
It
like,
is,
people,
it is.
Like, walk up to it
Amazing.
and like you can like say, "I'm leaving a message for like name," and you can give a message, and then people will walk up to the obelisk and touch it, and they'll get messages for themselves. And it is 98% accurate. Every once in a while, people get the wrong message.
Last time it was wrong. Rochelle
It
left
was
a
fun.
very embarrassing message that caused a lot of
Confusion.
awkwardness.
Angst.
Angst.
Yeah, angst.
Okay. Well, if we don't have any instantaneous form of communication, we should locate them then, I suppose, if they have the most information about this individual. Should we retrieve the others?
I think this dramatically changes the decisions that we will make in the next several hours. I think we should be together.
So, is this fate then?
What I have found in my time with these people is that the threads of our lives come together in unexpected ways at unexpected times. And when those moments occur, it's important to pay very close attention and to think carefully.
I see.
It is
I
not
will
just
just put the thing back in my head, by the way.
Sure.
Put my eye back in.
Yeah. Do you where do you head? Do you head to Sabine's or do you head
I
to the vessel?
Yeah, since we, excuse me, Sabine's isn't that far from city center, right? It's
No,
just
it's
kind of
on
like,
the
No, we
way.
just
Yeah.
over.
Yeah,
so
you'd be able to
stop in there and just see if Verve and Licton are available to help us find Rashiel.
Sure.
And I will also convey to them, I don't know Sabine either, but like she seems fine, so I don't mind conveying this information in front of her too.
Yeah. Verve, I will say that hearing Wilo describe the person, something finally clicks for you in hearing all of this. You kind of remember this person, even beyond knowing that that Mother Naomi has some sort of connection to Rashiel. You've dealt with her before.
Oh shit!
Goddamn,
If
what?
it isn't the consequences of my actions.
You know this person
Well.
as Mother Superior. She is a member of the Convergence.
Mother Superior. Okay. Bad news, obviously.
Is it?
Oh no, I'm asking bad news.
Bad news. Bad news.
All right. Okay. That is not good.
She was the one who gave you the contract for what you did in Drummond.
Oh, balls!
She was the person. Like King Crimson was aware, and he was part of the same organization. Mother Superior gave you that contract.
Okay.
I don't like the look on your face.
She's the reason why we're all here.
Why are we still in Sabine's house when we should be going?
For the last time tonight, how would everyone like one experience point?
Hell yeah.
All right.
Oh, are you sure about that? Are you sure about last time? Because I'm about to do some shit.
For the last time tonight. So you all head out of Sabine's house, assuming to get to the elevator to get back to Rashiel.
I don't, but can I get one anyways?
Right.
I want to find Kaya.
I'm just making sure that I'm involved in the.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say like you should talk to your friend Kaya.
Yeah,
Like,
I want to find
All right,
Kaya.
sure. Licton, you split off to find Kaya.
Yeah.
Who is going for Rashiel and or the elevator?
Like, I have a pretty good idea where Rashiel is, so I'm going.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll probably go.
Okay. Actually, you know what? You'll all see this. You step outside from Sabine's house, ready to split off, and the sky is unusually dark. All of the lights on the ruin have gone dark. All of the elevators have been pulled up. Rashiel, we will cut to you for our final scene of the night. Can you please roll me an intellect defense task as you attempt to reassert control over yourself?
Sure.
You find yourself on the floor of this laboratory you've set yourself up in. You can't move a single muscle. You're holding on, but barely. You are debilitated, so you can't really move. But you can spend effort from your intellect pool. This will be of a challenge 7.
Give me them 3 levels of effort, baby.
All right. Target number with 3 levels of effort will be 12. Yeah. 7, 6, 5. Wait. 7, down to 6, down to 5, down to 4. Yeah, so target number 12.
Okay. Sorry, math. That is a 12.
Oh, my goodness.
Right. So, Rashiel, you find yourself lying there on the ground, and why don't you describe how you reassert control of yourself?
Pure, unadulterated rage.
Yes. So,
the feeling of knowing that I was right about this person, and knowing this person hasn't changed, this person who has had an immense negative influence on my life and made me what I am. Just unadulterated rage. I am going to kill her.
all right. So, as you bathe and bask in these feelings, the lights around you go dim. Something is happening outside. You hear shifting. You hear the elevators being pulled up. You have a bit of a view of the outside from here. You can see all the lights on the exterior of the ruin have been turned off. Something's going down. And in your just primal rage, you almost will yourself to stand back up. The lights in here have long since gone dark. You've been on the ground for a while, and the motion activated lights are just off. The room lights up as your implants turn back on, and you reassert control over yourself in a way that you could not have even predicted. You're able to access the functionality of what you've been carrying around with you in a way that you have never been able to. In a very primal, visceral way, the best way I can describe that you feel right now is you feel unbound. You may take one additional focus in addition to what you already have.
Fuck yeah. Okay. I have been looking through them. And I've been throwing them at you all night.
You have been. And so we will end the scene as you get up. You were feeling empowered. You were feeling stronger than ever before. You stand up in the middle of this dark room, your eyes just glowing with this vibrant electric blue energy.
Sweet, I was about to ask if my eyes could glow. Like I was literally about to ask that.
No, you're definitely at that point. And with that image in our minds, that is where we will cut for tonight.
Also, everybody, please say thank you to whoever 4 Chaos is in the chat. We have a creature meter.
Hey, creature meter!
Hey! What a night!
Stop it.
Just in time for me to plan a week for our final session.
Yeah, thanks, y'all.
All right. So let me get some chilling out music.
It's just gonna be like, Sabine, we're gonna need the flyer.
Oh yeah, we totally gonna need the flyer.
Yeah.
Also, Kai, your boss a bitch.
All right.
Let chaos reign. Yep.
Oh god, if she knew about this, I'm gonna kill her.
Let's kill them all.
Right.
Just
I guess this is the night bitches die.
Listen, apparently I'm not good at lifting things, so stabbing is all I got now.
So, let's quickly go around and sign off. We say who we are, say where we can find each other on the internet, and talk about
What up? My name is Kappa.
Early as fuck.
Let's go. Yes.
Go, Kappa, go.
Hi, my name is Kappa. I go by Christian. My name is Christian. I go by Kappa in the TTRPG spaces. Fuck, I forgot all my names. Obviously, super flustered, but you can find me on Twitter at the Kappa Chris. All of my projects are starting to wind down after Numenera Remnant ends next week. I won't have as much to announce, but on Wednesdays you can catch me on Kevin Kudo's channel on Twitch, where we play Revenge of the Crit, a D&D 5e game skin for the Star Wars universe, set during the Clone Wars. It's really, honestly, really weird and really fun and awesome. On Fridays, on everywhere you can find your favorite podcasts, Roads Uncharted Season 2. We are wrapping up one of our arcs with a guest character. Super fun. It's great. It's a really fun podcast to record, and I hope everyone is enjoying it too. One thing that is also coming out that I can announce is if you're familiar with Monster Crush, the podcast run by Derek Sword and Heavenly, I just recorded a really fun episode with all of them that should be coming out sometime, I think next week or the week after, early the week after. And if you're not familiar with Monster Crush, it's a podcast where they try and find love in all the wrong places.
Right places?
Other than wrong places.
Oh,
did I say right places? All the wrong places.
Okay. It's the emphasis that matters.
Oh yeah. So far that's on April the 29th, I believe Seth and I are going to be participating in Scale Trek, the Vexed Generation, on Thorny Dryad. Ren, you might know Ren on Thorny Dryad's channel on Twitch. We will be playing a one-shot Kobolds in Space to help support AAPI efforts. Hashtag Stop Asian Hate has been really affecting us, really near and dear to my whole self, and so we are trying to make the world a little less shitty by being kobolds in space and being fun, and hoping to donate a lot to charity for this. So but yeah, all my projects, Twitter at the Kappa Chris. Favorite part, I don't know. Big reveal. Yeah, everyone coming up with some really fun ideas, and Verve just being like, I don't know, tell me what to do. Yeah, that's all I got. Next.
Hi, I'm Mare. You can find me on Twitter at Archmage of Dice. I am here for 1 to 2 more weeks for playing Lichten Brattersby in Numenera. On Saturdays on my channel at Marefeather, I run an Invisible Sun campaign called Secrets Beyond the Suns that starts at 1 p.m. Eastern time on Saturdays. We will not be here next week because we're taking a week off because people are doing their due diligence and getting their COVID shots. But we will return on the 24th. I also stream on my channel. Please go check that out. And premiering in just over a week on the 18th on Sundays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be running a D&D 5e game set in the Shadowfell of my homebrew world of Etios. So come check it out. Corrupt my players, please, because fun shit's gonna happen in the Shadowfell. Favorite part... Rashiel being so badass with her unadulterated rage. Well deserved.
I can jump in here. What's up? I'm Finley. You can find me on Twitter at infernal_glow. This is my only streaming game, so that's real easy to remember. I'll be back here one last time playing Nova. I know. It is cry. My favorite part of this session was seeing all of our dreams and nightmares come true. I knew it. I knew Mar had those maps. I knew it. I knew these Aeon Priests were trouble. I knew Verve's connections were somehow, I knew those convergences were going to converge. Well, I didn't know that, but it makes sense, right? Yeah, I mean, I like all those neat little endings.
Okay, Jesus Christ. Hey, I'm new here. Never seen my face before. I'm Chris. You can find me on Twitter at Kiss of Hemlock. I have a lot of fun stuff going on right now. On Tuesdays, one of my favorite days of the week, you can catch me over on the Nerdsmith Network, Shenanigans, playing a very feisty individual, also part of the Feyforge Academy podcast, which is a far less problematic magic school if you're into that kind of thing. So I would recommend 10 out of 10. It's a super fun time. I have a lot of things going on, so you can follow me on Twitter if you're interested in any of those things. Additionally, I do have a super fun thing coming up. For the next few Sundays, I will be playing a very short-term campaign over on the Meta Initiative channel, which is the newish tabletop branch of Obey Alliance. So if you've heard of that e-gaming company organization, they're doing a lot of cool things, and they are trying to get the tabletop game off the ground. So we are going to be running a super fun musical-themed campaign with a few other faces you might find familiar from this channel, and that should be a super fun time. My favorite thing, everything is if I say everything, it's like a cop out, but also I just got here, so I guess my favorite thing was probably the conversations between Wilo and Nova about fate versus choices, and attachment versus independence. I think is always a fascinating theme in games like this. So those conversations probably. Also, it's just fun to play Numenera again. So, all in all, a good time.
All right, I know Alex is not going to go before me because that's GM privilege, I understand. Hi, I'm Seth. You can find me on the Twitters, which I have just recently reactivated at KillXJill. You can find me on Twitch at that very same username, where I intend to get back into streaming as soon as I'm done building my new shiny PC. You can also find me on Instagram at that same username, but with an extra X at the very end for some umami and crunch. You can find me here one more week for Numenera Remnant, same time, same channel. On Saturday afternoons, noon central. You can also find me on Mare Feather's channel playing Zephyr. I can never remember my character sentence, but I remembered the voice. What am I? Ardent Weaver.
Stalwart.
Oh yes, I
am
a stalwart Ardent Weaver who weaves stealth with sorcery. On April the 29th, along with Kappa here, I will be playing Kobolds in Space to raise money for the charity Stop Asian Hate, because similar to Kappa, it affects most of my being. So yes, that's an extremely important and very cool thing that's going to be happening over on Thorny Dryad, i.e. Ren. I don't really have much else going on, but I do want to make mention of an emergency situation that I was just alerted to earlier today. One of my best friends, who is a Black non-binary human being who I can only describe as the human sunflower, I love them very much, was given a notice of eviction today, deadline being April the 15th. And they have just lost their job after asking their employer for more than 2 months of back pay that they're owed. They were subsequently wrongfully terminated. Unemployment is not going to be able to get back to review their case until at least the 16th or 15th of next week. And even though there's a federal moratorium on evictions, because of the state that they live in, they have no legal recourse to stop this eviction. So I decided to just set up my Ko-Fi and make that a goal, just getting them housed for the rest of the month while they kind of get all of their ducks in a row. So if you're able, thank you very much, Mayor, for putting a link to the Twitter thread. $1 helps, $2 helps just as much. we're just trying to make sure that they're able to literally keep a roof over their head. So if you're able to, spread the link, sprinkle in a couple dollars. Thank you so much for listening. Otherwise, as far as the game goes, my favorite part was actually kind of just this mental image of this new person who is new to Remnant, who subsequently just fucking like gets up on the roofs and is like, what's going on here? That to me is so unlike anybody else in the party. I mean, some of us might do that now, but as like a new character and a new person to this place, for you to just be like, let's check this out, hang on, was just a great mental image.
Hello everybody. My name is Alex. For one more week, I will be the GM for Numenera. This is my only project going on. In the near future, I expect much pain and suffering as I go through my finals before the semester ends. But yeah, that's, like I said, this is all I've got going on right now. You can catch us one more week, same channel, same time, same place. And then 1 week after that, we will be doing a question and answer session. So if you have any questions about our campaign or our characters or what toppings Verve likes to put on his burger, you can hop into our Discord and post those in the Fourth Watch channel to have all your questions answered. Yeah, that is all I've got. Let's see, favorite part of the session. My favorite part of the session was giving Rashiel a second focus, because that is something I found out that there's an item that allows you to get that. And I found out that existed like 6 hours ago. And so I'm like, oh, this would be great to tack on, because I already knew I was going to do this shit to Rashiel. So I was just like, I just tacked it on. I'm like, hey, Seth, why don't you just take a look at some of the other focuses? I'm not going to tell you why, but just take a look.
Forgiveness abilities, please forgive me for what I'm about to do to you.
Hey, Rashiel got good shit out of it.
Yeah.
She's fine. But yeah, no, that was fun. I was glad to spring that on you. So yeah, that is all we have got for tonight. Mare, would you do the honors of providing our warm fuzzies? Because I don't have the list.
Sure. I would also like to say, if you want to buy if you're interested in Numenera or Invisible Sun, the surrealness of, we have a discount code with Monty Cook Games. I put the code in chat. It's open4adventure. And before I forget, I may or may not make up like a Google form if people want to submit questions via that way, if they are not part of our Discord. So, because I know I'm in way too many Discords. But warm fuzzies. Is everyone ready? All right. We've got Bel Chavez.
Bel Chavez.
We've got L Street Gaming.
L Street Gaming.
LLLLLL.
We've got
Gaming.
Rick O.
Ooh.
We've got Strix.
Strix.
Hell yeah.
Debra. And last but not least, we've Blessed Eloi.
Blessed indeed. I forgot we were gonna do that.
Anything else?
I totally forgot until now.
Are we missing anything? Okay. We will see everybody next week for the finale of season 2 of Numenera Remnant.
But also yay.
I know. Bye, everybody.
Big feels.
Thank you.